presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
It's time for Angels Spring Training Baseball. This afternoon, the Angels are back at Tempe Diablo Stadium, getting ready to face the Texas Rangers. Split squad day for the Angels. We'll have the game for you right here. Angels and Rangers on a little bit of an overcast day today here in the Valley. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota. Our pleasure to be with you for Angels baseball today. One thing today, we're seeing an old familiar face back with the Angels. We haven't seen him all month. We haven't seen him in about 3.5 weeks. And that's shortstop Andrelton Simmons.
Simba is back, and Terry, what he brings, it's like you know, the calming presence. Guys go out there and rely on him. Do you want him on the field because he's just a spectacular, best at his position? Perhaps he could be the best defensive player in the game. So what Simmons does is he comes back from the WBC, Team Netherlands, did so well, but of course now he gets to work with Danny Espinosa up the middle. Defensively, the Angels are putting a premium on run prevention, and he is the key clog at that infield. Now, don't take it lightly. He had 281 last year and showed the Angels, even after the injury to his left thumb, that he can handle the bat, make some quick adjustments. And for Simba, it was all about one thing, staying tall and driving through the baseball, having a slight pause, loading up nicely, and stop chasing away from the zone. So the numbers really tell a story that perhaps could be even better this year, that he knows the league, Terry, a little bit better, knows the division, knows the ballpark, and Simba can provide the Angels also some speed in the bottom of that lineup.
Yeah, today just his 4th game with the Angels. We haven't seen him since the end of February. Well, a guy we'll see today, we saw him face the Rangers his last time out. That is the big right-hander Alex Meyer, 6'9". He'll go for the Angels. Jose, his last 2 appearances have been real good.
He has. He's pushing for a job. He wants a spot in this Angels staff or rotation. What he's doing so well is just going out there and simplifying things with that delivery. Able to repeat mechanics, able to repeat location. Breaking ball much sharper, velocities there up to 98 miles an hour here in spring training. And for Alex Meyer, if you take away one outing where his arm got away from him, he got a little erratic, of course, something he needs to guard against. You can see that he's been around the zone. Mike Scioscia extended him in terms of pitches made. And for Alex Meyer, too, it's about growing. So he talks about this spring and the adjustments he has made.
You know, 2 outings ago was never how anybody ever plans on something going. So, you know, I wanted to go out there and prove to myself that, you know, you're better, obviously better than that. And, you know, I was definitely happy with how today went. I thought my fastball command was really good. Breaking ball, the last one, the 2nd inning was good. And then the 3rd inning, they were good too. So it got a little bit better. So it was good.
Well, there's no doubt that Alex Meyer has the tools. We'll see if he can continue to keep things going. Let's continue with the pitching side, Jose, and shift to the Angels bullpen. We have gotten the attention of 3 Angel relievers who are all non-roster players, so some decisions have to be made. Let's talk about that trio.
I think it's great that these guys come in here off the Angels roster, invited, starting with a guy that was in the big leagues for the Angels and did well. Cody Iggy has gone out there, and Mike Scioscia said today, he's not only a lefty specialist, he's executing pitches. You can see the righties missing some barrels there, having some guys committed with that slider down in the zone, so his confidence is real high. Let's move on to Parker, a guy that knows about the big leagues. He's been around, but also he's been a strike thrower. Again, having guys committed to that pitch because he locates so well, and his fastball, you got to respect it. And our favorite, Jose Valdez. Why favorite? Because, of course, everybody loves that smile. His attitude is contagious, and also a guy that perhaps has the best of the arms, Terry. He's come with a mission of throwing strikes, throwing the slider for strikes, and also adding a changeup. But as you mentioned, you know what? There's not a lot of spots open in the Angels roster. These guys are making a push, and I think it's just great.
Well, we saw 2 of the 3, Iggy and Valdez, pitch for the Angels last season. We'll see if it starts that way for the Angels here in 2017. Angels will be sending Alex Meyer to the mound today. For the visitors, the Rangers, it'll be Alan Webster who gets the start against the Halos. We'll have the starting lineups and the start of today's game. It's coming up next right here on Fox Sports West.
At Tempe Diablo Stadium. Of course, we welcome these clouds around the area. It's going to cool off a little bit. Great to have you with us here on Angels Radio, AM 830, and of course on Fox Sports West. Terry Smith, Jose Mota, Jorge with us here as our engineer for the visiting Texas Rangers. Division opponents for the Angels, headed by the great Jeff Bannister. Delino De Shields is leading off in left field. Ching So Shu, slow spring for him so far. He's in right field batting second. Jurickson Profar back from the World Baseball Classic. Terrific job for that team. And Profar is playing shortstop batting third. Ryan Rua having a good spring. Rua is at first base. Good young hitter. James Loney hit a long home run against the Angels last time they saw him. Designated hitter batting fifth. Cesar Puello is in center field batting sixth. Drew Robinson, talented young player at second base, batting seventh. A.J. Jimenez is a catcher batting eighth. And Doug Bernier, veteran infielder, is batting ninth. Bernier's playing at third base. Alex Meyer and the Angels are on the field. And Yunel Escobar, welcome back to the lineup. No late scratch for him this time. Yunel is at third base. Cole Calhoun Rojo is batting second in right field. Mike Trout is in center field. American League MVP. Albert Pujols batting fourth, designated hitter. Luis Valbuena, and Angels newcomer, at first base batting fifth. Cameron Mabing, swinging the bat better last couple of games, is in left field batting sixth. Danny Espinoza, happy to have a partner next to him today. Espinoza is batting seventh at second base. Carlos Machete Maldonado is a catcher batting eighth. And welcome back, Simba Anderton Simmons, also back from Team Netherlands in the World Baseball Classic. He is back with the Angels at shortstop, of course, and he is batting ninth.
All right, Jose, we're just about a minute or so away from the start of the action. The umpires this afternoon calling balls and strikes will be Alfonso Marquez. And on the bases, we'll have Kerwin Danley along with Doug Eddings and Lance Barrett. The dimensions here at Tempe Diablo: 340 down the left field side, 420 to dead center. It's 360 to right. And in the alleys in left center and right center, it goes 400 feet. Who's in, who's out? It's brought to you by In-N-Out Burgers. That's what a hamburger's all about. As far as who's in the lineup for the Angels today, well, in the lineup at shortstop, as Jose mentioned, Andrelton Simmons. First time he will wear an Angel uniform since the end of February, really. 27th of February was his last game. First game for him here this month, coming back from Team Netherlands in the World Baseball Classic. They got to the semifinals in the WBC. And as far as who's out of the lineup, well, we've had Pennington and also some others play at that shortstop spot in the absence of Simmons. And we are just about ready for baseball here on this Wednesday. We'll keep you posted on the other Angel game that is going on as we speak right now in Peoria. Angels, other split squad against the Mariners. Here's the first pitch today, and that one is right in there. Called strike from Alex Meyer. We are underway, and the count 0-1. Delino DeShields is the batter. Had a tough year last year with the Rangers. Spent some time in the minors last year. A couple years ago, he was a starting player in the scheme of things in the outfield for the Rangers. He's trying to make their club as a reserve outfielder now, and this spring hitting .268. Counts 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the next pitch. That one is on the outside corner, called strike. Game time, party time, or any time. Send in Madalena Cabernet or Madalena Chardonnay, and you won't strike out. Found at the Big A in your favorite retailer. First pitch today at 1:10. Game time temperature 83 degrees. Here's one that's cut on and fouled off on the right side out of play. So the count holding at 1-2. We're out of the 90s today here in the Valley, Jose.
Well, we're talking about mid to upper 90s and record-setting temperatures here for a couple of days.
Yep, sure. Sure was the case. And here's the pitch, and that one is a little bit low and outside. Top of the first inning. It's being brought to you by Rennick Subaru. For Subaru, don't forget the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Think Rennick first. RENICK Subaru.com. So Meyer ready, and the 2-2 delivery. That one didn't miss by much. Maldonado, the catcher, was ready to fire the ball to Escobar, the third baseman. Throw it around the diamond. They thought he had DeShields out looking.
He had reason to believe that, and I think overall Maldonado needs to continue to insist, because eventually he will get that pitch there.
So here's the 3-2 pitch, and that's nowhere close. That was a fastball way up and in. So leadoff walk. DeShields really earned that walk there. That was a 7-pitch at bat. And now Shin-Soo Choo will be the next batter.
Truly earned, considering that Myers was ahead 0-1 quickly. And you can see him shaking his head. Just that one got away from him. Try to throw way too hard or way too fine in the corner.
Angels coming into this game, a Cactus League record of 13-10. The Rangers record is 10-14-2. The Angels had a win yesterday at Goodyear Ballpark, beat the Reds by the final of 9-1.
On a win, this is good for Alex Meyer to be tested immediately by a proven base stealer in DeShields, who comes into this game with 7 stolen bases already here in the preseason.
So Chu is digging in, nobody out, a runner on at first. He was around the bunt, ends up taking that pitch, and that pitch is in there for a strike.
And of course, the Texas Rangers know quite well what has been happening with the Angels and their receivers, their catchers, throwing the ball and catching plenty of guys.
Meyer taking time, shift on the right side. DeShields is on the move, throw down to second, safe. Well, throw couldn't have been any better, but just a little bit late. The tag by Simmons, but a stolen base on that one for DeShields.
Excellent job, excellent lead at first base, and that quick first step, driving down with his head. My goodness, 3 steps, and he pretty much had stolen bases back then. And this was stolen on the pitcher Meyer.
Stolen bases, nothing new for Delino DeShields. He has very good speed. Here's the pitch, and that one is taken for a ball. 2-1 the count. Angels continue to employ the shift on the right side. Chu has not had a single RBI this spring for the Texas Rangers. He's hitting .200. Here's the pitch. He swings late at that one, fouls it off on the left side. That is backing out of play.
Well, the Rangers and Shin-Soo Choo they're happy that here we are getting to the latter part of spring training, Terry, and he is still on the field. Many concerns. Played under 50 games last year with different issues with his legs and his back.
Simmons, the shortstop, playing on the right side with that shift on. He's close to the bag. There's a pickoff toss as Meyer wheeled around, fired a strike, but diving back to the bag goes the Shields. The Shields mentioning his speed. 101 stolen bases in the minors back in 2012.
That's hard to believe.
Yep.
That is hard to believe to this day and age. Huh?
Yep, 101. Next year he had 51 in the minors. There's a pitch. It's low. So it's a full count once again. First two batters here. This has been a 5-pitch at bat here to Chu. At least one more coming in this at bat. And here's the 3-2 pitch, and that is low and inside. He walked him. So not the kind of start that Meyer would like. He's walked the first two batters, and now Jorickson Profar, who just rejoined the Rangers from Team Netherlands in the WBC, will be the next batter.
Well, there's where you're hoping Maldonado, with his visit to the mound, could just allow him to find the glove. And if there's something mechanically that Maldonado has found out, remind him. And we talked about before the game about Myers, how he's been able to keep it as simple as possible. With a tall frame at 6'9", so many things need to be in sync and coordinated. The simpler, the better.
Profar has had only 12 at-bats with the Rangers this spring because of his time with the WBC team, the Netherlands team. He takes that one for a called strike. He's a switch hitter.
It's a good job there by Maldonado. Let's get ahead with a breaking ball. Let's try to change things here. Get a better feel and different feel for the baseball.
Alex Meyer came into this game in 7 2/3 innings, walking 7 this spring, and he's already walked 2 to start off the game, and that pitch was nowhere close. That was way outside.
You can tell, Terry, his mechanics at this point are just not consistent. This is only through 15 pitches.
Yeah.
Either trying too hard to be perfect or just trying to throw too hard. Hope he finds it. It's an easy fix. And start small with your mentality, your mindset.
So it's a 1-1 count, and the next pitch, and that is a huge swing and a miss right there by Profar. He was trying to hit that one out on the 10 freeway out there.
He does not
Big
get
cut.
cheated. Came to the big leagues for a couple seasons. He was the youngest player in the major leagues. Age 19 in the show.
Had his share of injury issues. 24 years old now. Can play a lot of positions, and the pitch, and he was totally fooled on that one. Got him swinging, struck him out.
Give that one to Carlos Maldonado, and there he is, proudly just going out there and supporting his pitcher in front of home plate. Boy, he found the breaking ball for strike one, and after that, the feel for the fastball got better. And, of course, the feel for the breaking ball got even sharper as he took something off of that last one, too.
Yeah, he throws a curveball. It's kind of like a knuckle curve that Alex Meyer throws. First, the fastball will hit triple digits. He'll throw a sinker. He has a changeup.
A sinker will be a big pitch right here in this situation. Put Simba to work.
Here's Rua batting, and he cuts and misses that one for strike one. No balls, 1 strike. Just underway around the infield. Angels have Valbuena playing first, Espinosa at second, Escobar at third, Simmons at short. That's a whole new look on the left side of the infield and what we've been seeing for weeks, but it's the one that we hope we see all season long. And the pitch, that's fouled back behind the plate.
Well, Anderson Simmons makes everybody around him better, and we're not just talking about the infielders. Of course, Espinosa, new mate to his left, Escobar to his right. But Terry, what he does in that gap in left center field, in short left center field, it's amazing how he can change a game and also make his outfielders better players.
Angels outfield, Maben in left, Trout in center, Calhoun in right. Here's the next pitch, and that's a little bit low and away. 20 pitches here in the inning, only 1 out, 2 on. Rua's had a good spring, 10 RBIs, hitting close to 350. He's had a couple homers as well.
He would like to see that slider again.
He's set, both runners on the move. The pitch is a ball, throw to third. It's high. That's going to be a double steal. So they picked the right pitch, did the Rangers, and they've already had 3 stolen bases here in the first inning on Alex Meyer.
Haven't seen a team steal 3 bases against the Angels all spring. It happens here in a third of an inning. They've done their work on Meyer, that's for sure. Even though Maldonado is one of the best behind him. They're going all up Meyer's timing.
The Shields over there at third base. He's had 9 stolen bases this spring. And the pitch. This is a little bouncer diving stop over there by the first baseman Valbuena, but then the ball rolls away. Everybody's safe. A run comes in. And the Rangers on the board. It's 1-0. That'll be an infield hit for Rua. Well, with the infield in, the mobility is lacking there, and Valbuena just went diving after it to his right, had the ball for a moment. He was still going to have to throw to first, but then the ball squirted away from him.
Oh, Rua does a good job. Looking slider, lays off that slider, finds a fastball in, gets jammed, and just finds the right placement. At one point, it looked like the ball was going to just roll through the infield all the way to right, short right field. And a great effort there, and Valbuena stopping that from rolling over and not allowing that second run to score.
So an infield RBI hit for Rua. Runners at the corners. And James Loney, who's trying to make the Rangers squad this spring, spent time with the Mets last year, will be the next batter. Left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch, and that one is swing and a miss for strike 1. Angels play Loney in the outfield to the opposite field. Trout over in left center. The left fielder may have been closer to the left field line than normal. Calhoun way off the line in right. Next pitch. That's lined into right center. That's trouble. That ball's in the gap. It's going to roll all the way out near the warning track. It's on the track now. 1 run scores. The second run is in. And stopping at second with a 2-run double is Loney. And now it's 3-0 Texas.
It all goes back to the leadoff walk after an 0-1 count. Of course, the Rangers doing their job and pressuring Alex Meyer and having him think about the guys running the bases. And not being able to make a good pitch there on Loney. Right over the heart of the plate after a big swing. Loney tones it down and gets himself a couple of ribbies.
So back-to-back RBI hits, 3 runs on the board. I go back to the matchup against the Shields starting the inning off, and there was a borderline 2-strike pitch that went against Meyer. I think that's changed the whole complexion of the inning for him.
And hopefully that is the one item, Terry, that we hope did not get in his mind. Yeah, you're right. That pitch could have gone either way.
He ended up walking the Shields, and he walked the next batter, Chu, and it hasn't got much better since. And the pitches are definitely mounting. The next one will be his 25th of the first inning. Meeting with pitching coach Charlie Nagy over, and here's the delivery, and that one is right in there for a called strike. The batter now is Cesar Puello, and he's playing center field for them today. That one is low. This is a guy who has been hit by a lot of pitches in his pro career. He's never played in the majors. He was in the Phillies organization last year.
At one time, one of the top prospects in all of baseball.
And here's the next delivery. That one is low. You're facing a guy that's had some control problems, and you're known to be a batter who gets hit by a lot of pitches.
Hopefully he doesn't know that.
133 times he's been hit by a pitch the last 9 years, all in the minors. There's the next delivery, and he swings at it and chops the ball right to Simmons. He has it. His throw is right on the money. The runner stays at second, Loney. That's the second out in the inning, 6-3 on the ground out, and the second baseman for Texas, Drew Robinson, will bat.
Well, there's something about seeing Anderson Simmons back on the field. Welcome back. Easy ground ball, gets around it. That's a good momentum. Loved every minute of WBC, he says, and the intensity that he had to elevate his game along with his teammates before the bell rings in the big leagues.
So Robinson is at the plate. Time called as he steps out of the box. Well, the Angels' other club is doing a little bit better in the first inning today. That's the game between the Angels in Seattle and Peoria. Angels got a run in the first inning on a sac fly by C.J. Cronin, lead that game 1-0 in the first.
C.J. Cronin's on the trip.
I just had a hunch that with a split squad day, he might be playing the road game. And it just always seems to happen.
He knows the Arizona highways really well,
Yep.
even though he is from here, too.
Here's the pitch on Robinson. That's low. It skips away from the catcher Maldonado, but just behind him. He retrieves it. No advancement by Loney. He doesn't have real good speed.
Angels hoping to get Meyer to around 75 pitches today, and he's about to throw his 30th here in the first inning.
Yeah, the rate things are going. He might use those up in just a couple of innings today. He's not out of this first inning yet, and the next one will be number 30 here in the inning. And here it comes, and that one is a cut and a miss. So it's 0-2. 3-0 Texas, still in the top of the first inning. 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 runs, and 3 stolen bases in this inning for the Rangers. Next pitch, and that's low. A snap throw to second. It hits Loney as he was diving back to the bag, and I think it got him kind of around the hip area.
It's one thing to get hit by a throw, but to get hit by a throw by Carlos Maldonado, or Martín Maldonado, is another level. He throws the ball so hard on the line, so low to the ground. But Loney's able to stand up.
Yeah, watching the replay on that one, it kind of got him more on his right side, diving back to the bag, kind of around the oblique area. Counts 1-2. Here's the next delivery, and that one is cut on and missed. He got him, fooled him right there, stayed away from the fastball, struck out Robinson, and the inning is over. A lot of things happen in that inning. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 3 steals, 2 hits, 3 runs, and it's 3-0 Rangers as we go to the bottom of the first on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Here we go to the bottom of the first inning. The Angels have some catching up to do. It's 3-0 Texas. Escobar, Calhoun, and Trout against right-hander Allen Webster. This is his first start for the Rangers this spring. He's appeared in 4 games in relief, and his first pitch missed for a ball. It's 1-0. Good to see Escobar back in the Angels lineup. He's been a scratch from the lineup a couple of times in the last few days. And he takes the next pitch for ball 2. It's 2-0.
It's good to see him playing baseball. Escobar's only played 10 games here in the spring.
Latest issue, a mild abdominal strain, and the pitch. He pops it up on the first base side. It's hanging up for Rua. And near the foul line there, he straddles it and makes the catch in fair ground. That's the first out.
Terry, we know his abdominal is just fine because with that type of swing, everything in your midsection has to feel really good. You rarely see Yunel take big swings like he just did there.
Yeah. So here's Cole Calhoun. Today is broadcast on Fox Sports West and the Angels Baseball Radio Network, and we're also joining Rangers fans on Fox Sports Southwest today. They're in North Texas.
Love passing along to the Rangers fans, of course. They're dominant Texas Rangers. Won the American League West again. Most wins in the American League last year, 95.
Back-to-back titles in the AL West for Texas. They have a shift on the right side with Calhoun batting. The count's 0-1, and the next delivery, this one is chopped on the left side and through, so he beats the shift right there. Hit it just out of the reach of the third baseman. Bernier was kind of positioned in the shortstop area, and Calhoun has a 1-out single. Angels have a base runner for Mike Trout.
Oh, there's a swing, approach, and a pitch selection where Cole Calhoun should remember that for a long time. He'll see more balls get through there because, of course, so many teams that know him so well, like the Rangers, are going to give him that big hole. With that or pushing a bunt here and there, he's going to add some points to his average, of course, to his on-base percentage.
Trout's hitting .257 this spring. First pitch, that one is inside. Angel fans, don't forget, long live the hard-working, the proud, the tenacious, and long live the trucks that are as dependable as the people that drive them. Right now, get a great deal during Ram Truck Month. Next one on Trout. That's low and away. This Allen Webster actually pitched in South Korea last year. Had a 4-4 record in 12 starts. ERA was over 5.5. He was originally a Dodgers draft pick in 2008. He's been in the Red Sox organization. Now trying to do something in the Rangers system after the tour of South Korea.
Webster is a low 3/4 sinker, changeup, slider. He could have a plus changeup when he's got the good differential between his fastball and that off speed. Good grip on it.
There's a pitch that's outside, and that's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Trout. So that puts 2 Angels on. Webster in his 4 relief appearances this spring had worked 8 1/3 innings, giving up only 2 earned runs. So getting the start here today. Angels have a pair of base runners. Albert Pujols is the batter.
As we're talking about Simmons, welcome back. Rangers fans happy to see Jurickson Profar back in the mix and getting some playing time today at shortstop. And he could be one of those guys there, Profar, that you'll see bouncing around in different positions, but finding a way into that lineup somehow.
Here's Albert digging in, and the first pitch. That is on the outside corner. Pujols didn't like the call by Alfonso Marquez on that strike call. Albert's hit safely in his last 6 games this spring. Two on, 1 out, 3-0 Rangers, bottom of the first. Next pitch, and that was off speed. It missed for a ball.
Here's one thing we're finding out about Webster. Because he does deliver the baseball from that low 3/4 slot, his breaking balls will have a tendency sometimes to start in against the right-handed batter's left hip. At times push it out of the way, but also very dangerous on how often he can also hang the breaking ball because of where it starts.
He's a guy who in the past has had some trouble with the home run ball. He hasn't given up any so far this spring.
Already saw Trout flinch on his way out of a breaking ball in, and also did Pujols.
Next one on Albert, and this is pop back foul behind the plate. Going to land not too far away from us and drops down into the seats. So the count on Pujols, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Pujols got a second look at that delivery, the window. And even though his body might have been a little bit out, he was right on that. And thanks to a late sinker, he did not square it off.
Today is game 24 for the Angels, just the 8th game that Albert has appeared in. Here's the pitch, and he was tied up on that one. Boy, that was a nasty pitch right there. He struck him out.
He made him so aware to that inner lane, and through 3 different speeds, 3 different breaks, and certainly on that one had to commit Pujols to start his swing on a ball that was starting in one spot and finish off the plate. That's a pretty good sequence.
Yeah, you don't see Albert get caught up like that very often. He got tied up in knots on that pitch. So
that's when the unknown becomes your best weapon.
Yeah. Here's Valbuena. So we'll see if he can do something here with 2 outs and 2 on. Luis hitting .208 this spring. Left-handed batter takes that, and that one is a little bit low. Angels tomorrow will be playing the Padres. That game in Peoria, and then 3 straight here at home. Friday against Seattle. That'll be that late afternoon start at 5:10. We'll play under the lights as the game progresses on Friday. Diamondbacks are here on Saturday. Royals are here Sunday, and the pitch, and that one is a little bit low and outside.
A little music coming up on Friday night.
That's right.
After that game, concert.
And after today's ball game here against the Rangers, the Angels have only 4 more home Cactus League games. The Cactus League ends for the Angels a week from today. Then after that, the 3 against the Dodgers and the exhibition Freeway Series. There's one lifted foul down the left side, backing out of play.
Pretty good swing there by Valbuena. Pretty much copying what Calhoun was able to do with a fastball tailing away the last pitch. So it's one of the best sinkers he's thrown with some velocity and really good movement from Webster.
So Webster is set. Look at second. Here's the next pitch, and trying to hold up on that one is Valbuena. They say he did. So it's a 3-1 count. Maben would be up next.
Another piece of good news coming out of Rangers camp, Terry, is that Andrew Kashner is throwing in a minor league game today. So he's on his way back, and they need him.
So 3 balls, 1 strike. That one is low and inside. It's another walk, and the Angels have the bases loaded for Maben. He's had only 1 RBI this spring, and he's had only 2 hits this spring, so this would be a golden opportunity for him.
Luis Valbuena at his best, keeping the inning alive, and quite selective on his approach against right-handers.
Both pitchers have struggled here in the opening frame. In the case of Alex Meyer, he gave up 3 runs. In the case of Webster right now, he's loaded up the bases, but could get out of it if he can retire Maben. Here's the pitch, and the first one is a fastball high. 1-0 the count. Maben is just 2 for 25 this spring.
Started 0 for 20.
Next delivery, and he checks on that one and misses low. 2-0.
He's got the Hunter Pence look with his pants today.
Yep, he's got him pulled way up.
Yeah, above
See
the knees.
Stockings. Here's the 2-0, and he takes that one low and away, ball 3. So Webster's on the verge of walking in the first Angel run here. He's already walked 2 in the inning. And now they're going to have a little meeting out there at the mound.
Yeah, Mike Socha has said it many times. Dave Hansen reassuring me also about what they've seen from Cameron Maben. Really nothing too drastic, but some balls that just have not fallen. You know, we're talking about a 2 for 25 that could easily be a 6 or a 7 for 25 if a couple of balls had fallen. So what they admire the most from Maben is the way he's been going about his business and not changing just because the results have not been there. Of course, he comes highly recommended. People around baseball and how good he is in that clubhouse, and what a terrific year he had last year. Just to keep him on the field, keep him healthy.
So here's the 3-0 delivery, and that one missed ball 4. He walked him on 4 straight. That forces in a run. Angels get a gift run here, and the inning is not over. So we'll see if the Angels can get some more. 3rd walk in the inning, and Webster has walked 3 of the last 4 that he's faced.
There's 5 walks combined between the 2 starters in the very first inning. So opening the door very quickly for the opposition and the offenses they're facing. Both Meyer and Webster.
Angels have scored a run with only 1 hit in the inning. In the top of the inning, the Rangers scored 3 runs with only 2 hits. And here's the pitch that's in there on Danny Espinosa, his first time up today.
This is a good spot for Espinosa to be hitting it. Webster has to throw the ball over the plate. Espinosa's doing better and staying on it.
Espinosa was a pretty good RBI man last year for the Nationals. 72 driven in, and the pitch, he chops this one through on the right side for a base hit. 1 run will score. Another is being waved home. The throw's going to go to 3rd. That's way late, and that is a 2-run single for Espinosa, and just like that, it's a 3-3 game.
I'll do a little bit of remembering how the other team got on the board first, and that's exactly how the Angels are able to capitalize on the walks and the mistakes and the falling behind by Webster. Espinosa, as mentioned, just has looked good and staying square to the baseball, going the other way. Batting practice sessions much sharper, and of course he's trying to be a little bit better on his chase rates and which pitches he's handling better, and there's one of them there.
So here's the 8th batter in the inning, Martin Maldonado. He's had just 1 RBI so far this spring. He's just 4 for 33 at the plate. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled back to the screen.
Seemed like Maldonado was right on that pitch until the very end of that swing where he was looking out into the buttes.
This first inning very similar for each of the starters. And looking down the left field side, the Rangers have started to get action in their bullpen. There goes Espinosa. He's on the move. There's a ground ball hit the short. Gobbled up, though, by Profar. His throw is in time to get Maldonado. And the inning will end on the 6-3 ground out. But the Angels tie it with 3 runs. And like the Rangers, had only 2 hits. The Angels will leave a couple runners on base. We are headed to the 2nd inning. A lot has happened already. It's 3-3 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. We go to the second inning, a 3-3 game. Angels and the Rangers. Fans, don't forget this spring, find your escape route off-road with great deals on a new Jeep. Head into your local Jeep dealer for the Jeep Spring Clearance event. It's going on now. So we'll see if things settle down here in the second inning. And the first pitch, that one is right in there for a called strike. This is A.J. Jimenez at the plate.
The secret is strikes. Both of them.
Yeah. Here's Meyer's next delivery, and that had Jimenez getting out of the way of that pitch. That was headed right at him.
Fortunately, it was a breaking ball that, once again, like in the first inning, he's just trying to throw way too hard.
Yeah, Meyer is really out of sync here. He's ready, and here's the next pitch. That's on the outside corner. That had Jimenez, the batter, flinching on that one.
See, he did a good breaking ball. Again, like he did to Robinson to strike him out in that first inning so far. Maybe because he's off there, he's been able to take more off of that breaking ball. I don't know if that's good or bad.
And there's one that's way low and outside. So it's a 2-2 count.
A tall frame at 6'9", and trying to put it all together and land in the right spot and keep consistency and release point, the windows, staying over the rubber, all those things are a little problematic right now for Meyer. Hopefully he'll find it.
Next pitch, it's fouled back behind the plate.
Like Socha talked about Meyer this morning, addressing the media about the progress he's made and saying that the work he's been putting in with Charles Nagy hopefully can carry it, not just one inning to the other, but, you know, as we're finding out here, Terry, how tough it is sometimes from one outing to the next.
And the next pitch, this one is lined into left center, but it's hanging up for Cam Maben, and he'll put that one away. Jimenez hit it hard, but he's retired. Doug Bernier will be the next batter. I want to remind you this copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of today's game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota. Our producer engineer is Jorge Sevilla. We're with you here this afternoon from Tempe Diablo Stadium. 3-3 to score. Second inning, Angels and Rangers. That's a pitch in there on Bernier, veteran player. 36 years old. Doug Bernier was in the minors all last season in AAA. And the next pitch, he cuts it. That one fouls it back behind the plate.
Count your blessings, Terry, when you're at his age, been around a long time, and still be part of the major league spring training. It's great. Good to see the Rangers extend him the opportunity for he and his family.
He's played in the majors with the Rockies and also the Minnesota Twins, and there's a shot up the middle. It's going to be a base hit for him. Bernier and Meyer certainly well aware of each other. They've been teammates in the past with Minnesota and their AAA club in Rochester, New York.
You knew something about Meyer in that breaking ball, stayed right with it. Bernier is from Santa Maria. Made his debut back in 2008 in the big leagues with the Rockies, when we played a couple of games. Then had to wait another 5 years to see the big leagues again, not until 2013 with Minnesota.
At the plate is DeShields, shows signs of bunting and lays off the pitch and misses outside. He walked and stole a couple of bases in the first inning and eventually scored on the hit by Rua.
I'm talking to Delino DeShields here in the spring. One of the things that he had told me, Terry, he goes, I was thinking about driving the ball, gained some weight, added some bulk, and that ended up taking him away from what he does best, which is make contact and run. He recognized that, of course, as he was advised by the brass and, of course, a great baseball family. But he goes, he got caught up in driving the ball, hit him for more power, and really that took him away from running. And he's back, lost all that weight, and now has 9 stolen bases here in the preseason.
Yep, he's more of a slash and speed kind of guy.
You can't get caught up in trying to be who you're not. And, you know, even if he added some bulk and Is he going to be a potential 20 or 25 home run guy? I truly doubt it. But as you mentioned too, he was so important to their run a couple of years ago that they find him, and he had carved out for himself a place to play with some versatility.
1-0 pitch, and that was a breaking ball missed inside back in that 2015 season when DeShields was playing a lot for Texas. He had 33 infield hits that season. 33 infield hits.
Then he lost that.
So it's a 2-0 count on him. 1 out, runner bluffing to go, and the next pitch missed low. It's now 3-0.
Well, Meyer made 32 pitches in that first inning. Rangers taking a second look at him, and DeShields, who walked after falling behind 0-1 in that first inning, once again has a pretty good idea what the ball is doing as it's traveling out toward the catcher's mitt.
Here's the next pitch, and on the 3-0, it missed a little bit low and away. He's not going to get any calls. That's apparent here, and that is ball 4. So walk number 3 allowed by Meyer. Chu will be the next batter. He walked and scored in the first inning.
Angels pitching last year against the Angels allowed a .281 batting average. And the Rangers pretty much pressured the Angels all throughout. They had an on-base percentage of 19 games where the Angels went 9-10. The Rangers on base 342. OPS 805.
So a lot of people in the infield for the Angels went out there to try and settle down Meyer. We'll see if it works. He's facing Chu for the second time, and he drills a ball into right field. Getting a late start on that one is Cole Calhoun. The ball ends up dropping just in front of him. He lunged forward trying to catch that sinking liner. That ball wasn't in the air very long at all, and that's going to be a base hit. So they have him loaded now on that low line drive single by Chu.
The ball had tremendous downspin, and for Cole Calhoun coming in and diving and hoping that ball will stay in the air a little bit longer. But the effect of that topspin certainly allowed that ball to drop in front of him. Fortunately, he was able to keep it in front.
So Meyer, with the bases loaded here, in trouble. 3-3 to score, second inning. Profar is the batter, switch hitter batting left. Next pitch, and that one is tipped foul back behind the plate.
Well, Profar for sure did his homework on how he got himself out the first time with a slow breaking ball that he missed with a strikeout. And went up 0-0, Terry, looking breaking ball, and took a big hack.
Profar, his very first major league at bat with the Rangers back in 2013. He hit a home run, and here he lifts one in the air into right center field. Calhoun has a beat on it. He'll make the catch. A couple of the runners are going to tag. They're going to get a run in on that sacrifice fly as Bernier scores, and DeShields moves over to third base. So it's out number 2, and Texas has a 4-3 lead. So the batter now is going to be Rua. Rua in the ball game. Strikeout his first time up.
The type of contact right there, one hand up with his front foot, will tell you how good the ball will be traveling here the rest of the afternoon as the wind starts to pick up and blowing across from left to right and out. Had a lot of carry. Well, Calhoun had to change his angle very quickly to get to the path.
Here's the pitch, and that one is cut on and missed. 4-3 Texas. Just the second inning. Meyer is ready. This will be his 50th pitch already in this ball game, and that one is low and outside. Looks like the Angels have Blake Parker warming up in the bullpen right now. Here's the next delivery on Rua, and that's taken for a strike on the inside part of the plate.
In the meantime, Terry, over at Peoria against the Mariners, Ben Revere hit a home run today, and he is 2 for 2 with 3 RBI. Also, Eric Young Jr. with his second home run. And the Angels are up 5-0 against the Mariners in the top of the third inning. With Yusmeiro Petit on the mound.
Yeah, the Angels didn't really send too many regulars to Peoria for that game, but they're playing quite well. And there's a pitch that Ruat tried to check on. Off-speed delivery gets him kind of a half swing. The strikeout will end the inning. But the Rangers do go back on top. They get a run. They had 2 hits, a walk. They're going to leave a pair. And as we go to the bottom of the second, it's 4-3 Texas on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. First batter up for the Angels here as we go to the bottom of the second inning. It's the shortstop, Andrelton Simmons. He's the 9-hole hitter. This is his first at bat. First pitch was in there, and the 0-1. There's a little flare out on the right side, just out of the reach of Robinson, the second baseman. It'll fall into shallow right center for a blue pit. Well, Simmons didn't have a hit when he was here in February. He was 0 for 8. First game back, gets a single there. Of course, he was playing in some pretty intense games in the WBC with Team Netherlands.
Yes, he was, and he comes back to exhibition baseball here, preseason baseball. And big smile from Simmons on the check swing. Look what I found type single. And Jurickson Profar also flashing a smile to his teammate.
So here's the leadoff man, Escobar. He popped out on the first base side his first time up. There's a toss over to first. Simmons back.
So Terry, we were talking yesterday about stolen bases, about the Angels and the many guys that have expressed openly that they like to run. Simmons was one of them. He was 10 for 11 last year in stolen base attempts.
And he's getting a decent sized lead over there. He's going to draw another throw, and he dives back to the bag in time.
So now you have Revere, you have Maben, you have Trout. Calhoun has expressed openly that he'd like to run a little bit more. Espinoza.
Yeah, he'll
has
pick his
stolen bases.
spots.
So, yeah, Calhoun, a guy can maybe get you a 12 to 15 if you pick the right spots.
Here's the next delivery. Escobar takes that one low and outside.
But Anderson, besides the speed, obviously, that he's got and the quick feet because of the display at shortstop, how quick he is, he's also perhaps the most instinctive base runner the Angels had last year. He created many situations.
And there he goes. The pitch. It's chopped back to the mound with Simmons on the move. The only chance for an out to first base, and Webster did a good job fielding that one. He usually gets Escobar. Simmons advances on the comebacker, and now Cole Calhoun will be the next batter.
Why not? Anderson visiting with Jurickson, Profar, and of course Terry talking about who wins today. Big game, the final World Baseball Classic. Puerto Rico against USA.
Yeah. That game will get underway. Was it around sometime this evening? I think I heard 9 o'clock Eastern time. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
There's a pitch that's a little bit low and in. 1-0 is the count.
And their manager in Netherlands, somebody that you knew very well, former Yankee prospect and big leaguer, Hensley Mullins, who was, of course, part of the San Francisco Giants coaching staff in the big leagues.
Yep.
Bert Wylevin, excellent job with those pitchers.
Cole Calhoun has already singled today. We're in the second inning. Things moving along at a pretty slow pace. We're almost an hour into this game. And there's ball 2. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Trout will follow. Webster is ready, taking a lot of time, and now time called as he steps off the pitching rubber. Let's pause for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. Next pitch to Cole Calhoun. He just bounced one foul over on the first base side.
Easy now, Fredo. You know what happened yesterday, Fredo? Also back from the World Baseball Classic. He says he's fine.
Yeah.
I asked him today if he was okay. Terry goes, yeah, I'm fine. He got me the upper left thigh.
All right. Yeah, he took a shot over there in the coaching box yesterday.
A little salsa dance, and it didn't work. But he's fine.
Here's the next delivery. Calhoun was reaching at that one. Pops it up foul, but it's going to get back and out of play. So it's a 2-2 count.
Of course, if you would imagine, Alfredo was the subject of many jokes this morning in that clubhouse.
Yeah.
Or guys were suggesting he should wear a glove around his belt when he's coaching.
Yeah. That one wasn't just going to slip away.
No, there's no way.
No way.
Man has some great hands in his playing days.
So 2-2 here on Cole Calhoun. 35th pitch in the game for Webster, and that one is high. He's struggled with his control. He walked the 3 batters last inning. Walked in a run last inning.
Terry, I tell you that you always teach me something every single day. So today I'm going to test a little trivia for you. And the connection between Allen Webster and the Angels.
All right.
You teach me something.
Here's the next delivery, and that one is lifted foul on the left side. Well, I can tell you this. I don't ever recall him being a property of the Angels, even though he has moved around a bit in his career. And mentioned he pitched in Korea last year.
He threw against the Angels back on June 18th of 2015. 5 innings. He allowed 6 earned runs. He walked 5 batters. He allowed 2 home runs. And that's where we're going to go with this. The home runs.
He gave up some home runs to the Angels in that game.
Yes, he did. So you figure, of course, the bigger names, right? It was, in fact, a game in Arizona, interleague.
Calhoun just chased that 2-strike delivery, and Webster gets him on the strikeout, his second in the game. And now the Angels looking for a 2-out hit from Trout.
Elevating there for Webster, like he will do once in a while with that sinker, flatten out with that 4-seamer. So I know you have your notebooks from 2015 around here. Were you able to check it who hit those home runs?
I was just doing that as you were speaking there, Jose. I think I have the answer to that one as Trout foul tips that one for a strike.
Does it include a Trout or a Pujols?
No.
Or a Calhoun?
I'm going to go with 2 guys that are not even in the Angels organization anymore, and we're just talking about spring of 2015.
Right.
And see what happens here after the next pitch, and that one hits Trout. It got him Just below the neck area, kind of shoulder blade area. He's hit by the pitch. Doesn't appear to be in any great deal of pain as he trots to first base. The Angels have 2 on for Albert.
Another breaking ball like with Meyer that totally just got away.
Yep, got him right around the shoulder. So I'm going to go. I'm going to try my best here, Jose. I'm going to go Johnny Giavotella.
Johnny G.
And Taylor Featherston. How's that go?
That's 2 good names right there. Nice dig.
There you go.
2 home runs. Johnny G and Taylor Featherston.
Yeah, it always comes in handy to check out the old books.
Taught me something today again.
There you go.
Keep those scorebooks around. In yellow.
That's right.
A little whiteout once in a while.
A lot of whiteout in my case. So here's Albert Pujols batting, and here's the first pitch. And he checks the swing on that one, and they say it was holding.
Well, Pujols was fooled on the fastball inside where he just could not pull the trigger. Was caught in between when he struck out in that first inning. And he continues to work him inside, even with the breaking balls.
Next delivery on Albert. That one is taken for a strike, and the count's even 1-1.
Albert looks a little frustrated, kind of baffled, going, okay, well, haven't seen that many breaking balls start in that inner third repeatedly. Is it by design? Well, we don't know.
Webster taking time between pitches. He's at 41 already. He's going to throw to second, and getting back to the bag goes Simmons. The second baseman Robinson on the receiving end of the throw. Even though the Angels have another game going on in Peoria against Seattle today, most of Mike Scioscia's coaching staff is here with Mike for this ball game against Texas. And the pitch that's fouled back on the right side by Albert, backing out of play. 1-2.
A big reason for that would be that this lineup could be the one the Angels present on opening night. And see them all together. Finally, it's here. March 22nd, because Simba is back.
Counts 1-2. Albert awaits the next delivery. That's low. 2-2. Both of these starters have really struggled here in the first couple of innings, and we are just a couple minutes away from the game reaching the 1 hour mark, and we're in the bottom of the second.
Of course, this also leaves Alex Meyer more time in that dugout. That also could serve as a detriment.
Here's the pitch. Albert chops that one foul just past the Rangers dugout on the third base side. Fans, don't forget, register your little angel for the 2017 Junior Angels Kids Club for only $18. Members receive 4 ticket vouchers, a t-shirt, a coupon for a free large pizza, and more. It's presented by Papa John's. Visit angels.com/Junior Angels for more info. A 2-2 count, 2 outs, 2 on. 4-3 Texas here in the second, and the next pitch grounded sharply but down to third. Nice stop by Bernier, flips to second. They'll get the force out on Trout, and the inning is over. Albert hit it hard but right at the third baseman. So the Angels fail to score, and we head to the third. It's a 4-3 Texas lead on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. We get set for inning number 3, 4-3 Texas. Alex Meyer still out there. Been a struggle for him in the first couple of innings, but we'll see if he can clean things up a bit here in the third. First batter up is James Loney, left-handed batter, and the first pitch, and that is right in there for a called strike. Loney has already had a double that's driven in a pair today. Cuello and Robinson will follow. Here's the pitch, and that is in there for a strike. The Angels today have on the red tops and the white pants, and the Rangers go with the blue tops and gray pants. A little easier to decipher the players today. Yesterday we were in Goodyear. Both teams were wearing the red tops. The only difference yesterday, the Angels had on the gray pants and the Reds had on the white pants, being the home team.
It worked out just fine.
Yeah. Of course, different logos on those jerseys, too, I might add. But from our perch here, certainly a lot of similarities. And there was a lot of red in the stands yesterday there in Goodyear, even though the crowd wasn't all that big. A lot of Angel fans were there yesterday.
Easy drive without hitting the city.
That's right. Straight shot off the 10 here in Phoenix. There's a pitch that's high and outside. 1-2.
Terry, I would describe James Loney in his best days.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Professional hitter.
Yeah.
In his best days.
I hear
Take
you.
the walk, work a count, drive in, 90 runs with under 20 home runs, work counts, jump on certain pitches, stay on the ball.
Yeah.
Just an understanding of what it takes to be a decent hitter, reliable hitter in the big leagues.
He was a 300 hitter in the minors and in the big leagues. Career .284 batting average.
He has been derailed by some back issues.
Yeah.
And of course, when he's on the field at first base, he is a guy you can count on. Save you a lot of errors.
1 ball, 2 strikes is the count on Loney, and the next pitch, and he waves and misses that one. Off speed pitch got him. Struck him out. So Meyer ended up last inning striking out Rua, and he starts off this third inning with a strikeout against Loney. He's already had 4 strikeouts so far.
That was a bad finish to that swing. His head was going in one direction, and really as easy as Loney made it look in that first time up, the 2-run double, Meyer got him. Really was able to repeat in the outer third and have him guessing inside the whole time.
And here's the delivery, and that one is in there for a called strike. It's almost hard to believe here, and we're only in the third inning, that Alex Meyer has faced 15 batters now, and he's had first pitch strikes on 14 of the 15. There's one that's a little bit low.
As Mike Scioscia describes, that is allowing the hitter to get back into counts, just like pitchers want to get back into counts, falling 2-0, 1-0, 3-1. He is not able to make those 0-1s 0-2s.
Here's the next one on Cuello, and that one is cut on and missed. Well, we saw already today when Meyer came off the mound completing inning of work, Angels manager Mike Scioscia went into the dugout and I would assume was trying to give him a little pep talk. Here's the pitch. That one is chopped on the left side right near Escobar. His throw will take the first baseman Valbuena off the bag. So that figures to be an error on Escobar. And Cuello is safe over there at first base.
It's pretty much the same error that we saw time after time with Escobar going to his left. He was not too sure which hop to get after. Eventually has to give in and go back, retrieve, and make a longer throw. And that ball got away from him.
Yeah, it sailed.
Interesting thing is he goes to his left, he has trouble. Goes to his right, he's much more efficient and accurate with his throws. But when he goes to his left and the ball sails, Terry, it usually doesn't sail to the inside but to the outside of the bag.
Yeah. At the plate now, swinging at that one is Robinson. He drives the ball deep down the right field side, and that one is going to bang off the fence. Going into third base, being waved home is Cuello. There's going to be a throw to the plate, but it's wide. He'll score. And ending up at third base with the RBI is Robinson. And now it's 5-3 Texas. Boy, a little better throw, and the Angels might have had a shot to get Cuello, who ends up scoring all the way from first base.
Well, the Rangers, as a good team should do, jump on and take advantage of the error. No stranger to extra bases is Drew Robinson. Just misses a home run. Mike Scioscia on the way to the mound, Terry, and that's a do.
So that would appear to be it for Alex Meyer today. Tough outing for him. The last 2 times we saw him, he pitched well, including his most recent outing against the Rangers, but not the same results here today. We have a break in the action, a pitching change when we get back in the 3rd inning. Rangers lead the Angels 5-3. Pitching change coming up on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels go to the bullpen, and it is right-hander Blake Parker who's going to take over for Alex Meyer. Meyer had a tough day today. We'll give you his numbers in just a moment. So ready to work is Parker, who has done a good job this spring for the Angels. He's still in the mix for a bullpen spot, and the first one here on A.J. Jimenez. Taken for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Noticing more and more this past week or so, Mike Scioscia has been bringing in some of these guys that are vying for spots and not necessarily just using fill-in guys, as they call them, backup guys, to come in after a short start. So that's good. Get some testing out of the way very quickly here.
Angels have the infield in. There's a toss over to third base. The runner Robinson is back. He got the RBI hit that brought in Puello, and even though Robinson ended up at third base, they gave him a double on that one, and taking third on the throw to the plate, trying to cut down that runner who scored from first. Jimenez, who's batting, has lined out his only time up. Here's the next delivery, and that is right in there for a called strike. Blake Parker, Jose, this spring is appearing in his 8th game. He has a save and a 1.35 ERA. He's worked 6 2/3 innings so far this spring. 7 strikeouts.
He's gone out there and thrown strikes. And his first batter efficiency has been terrific also. A big indicator for Mike Scioscia and his staff.
Here's the next one, and that's a breaking pitch on the outside corner.
That's quite a sweeper of a breaking ball, where Maldonado himself did not even attempt to follow the path of the ball or center it. He just allowed his glove to do that.
Blake Parker spent some time with the Mariners and the Yankees last season. Fastball top out around 96. He has a good slider. He'll throw a cut fastball. He has a changeup. And the next delivery, that's a slider low and away. 2-2 on Jimenez.
No stranger to tough situations. Parker, 31 years old. Led the Pacific Coast League with 25 saves back in 2014.
is a former position player, Blake Parker. And he's ready to come in with the next one. It's fouled back on the right side. Alex Meyer went 2 1/3 innings. He allowed 5 hits. Right now 5 runs, 4 earned. The runner at third, his property. Meyer in the ball game walked 3, struck out 4.
It did not go very easy for him with his mechanics and the many things he's trying to work on. Arm side, his glove side with his fastball. Command was not there, and also a costly error here with 1 out made things a little worse for him.
2-2 the count here on Jimenez. Here's the next pitch, and he tried to sneak in a breaking ball that missed inside, so it's a full count. In the case of Alex Meyer, as good as he must have felt after the last 2 appearances, you kind of wonder what he's thinking right now. Today was a step back.
Definitely was not what he wanted to accomplish out there today. Something to grow of. Get better.
Payoff delivery, and that one is cut on and missed. He got him. Off speed pitch gets Jimenez. That was a good looking pitch right there. That's out number 2.
Prime example, Terry, as to why when you're in the major leagues, they keep saying, well, you know, those good moments, enjoy them for a short time, but remember, they're not going to last forever. Don't take it into your next game and be overconfident, but try to get better somehow. And in your bad moments, learn from them, move on, but make adjustments.
So here's the next batter at the plate, taking one in there for a strike, and
really
this is Bernier.
He is spinning the ball very well.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that fastball that can reach up to 94, 96. He's shown it immediately to offset some of the timing here so far in a couple of batters.
0-1 is the count. There's one that's outside. 1-1 on Bernier.
So we talk about Parker in our TV Open. Parker, Jose Valdez, Cody Iggy, all 3 of them non-roster players, really make it a nice push to be part of that bullpen.
Yeah, there certainly appear to be openings as far as the Angels bullpen, even to this point in spring training. There's one that's cut on and missed. 1-2 is the count. And again, the Angels will play their final game here in Arizona a week from today, and then we'll have the 3 against the Dodgers back in SoCal exhibition freeway series. Opening day for the Angels coming up against the Oakland A's on April the 3rd. That'll be a 4-game series in Oakland. And the pitch, that's waved at and missed. Ball dropped there by Maldonado, picks it up, fires to first, completes the strikeout, and Parker comes in with a runner at third, strikes out Jimenez and Bernier, and they fail to get any more. They got their 1 run earlier in the inning. They had a hit, there was an error, and the runner left at third. So bottom of the 3rd is next. 5-3 Texas on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Here we go to the bottom of the third inning, and Luis Valbuena will lead things off for the Angels. He takes the first pitch, and that one missed for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes. Valbuena today a walk so far in the ball game. He's scored a run. And the next delivery, it's lifted in the air down the left side. Long run for DeShields, still chasing, and he will make the catch a foot or so from the rim of the track down in the left field corner. And that'll be the first out. Maben will be the next batter. And don't forget, join the Angels on April 7th and 8th for opening weekend. The Angels will host the Seattle Mariners. Fans in attendance will receive an Angels wall calendar. It's courtesy of U.S. Bank while supplies last. For more info, visit angels.com/promotions.
Terry, just find me the magnet schedule. That's all I'm going to ask you.
That's
all I need.
That's always been your little chore, Jose, when the season gets underway. There's a pitch for a ball. It's funny you brought that up. The other day I was here at Tempe Diablo, and a lady came up to me, and I think they actually came to the valley here, little vacation to see the Angels in action. They were from Temecula. And she said, I heard you talking about your mom and your mother-in-law the other day and how much they like those magnetic schedules. Where can I get one of those? I said, well, you're going to have to talk to Jose Mota.
Terry, come on now. Wow. The Angels marketing department, so please pay attention. There's demand for those.
Right. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that is a called strike on the outside corner. Yeah. She wanted to know where she could get her hands on a few of those. She said, I'll put that on my refrigerator.
We're going to find a few now.
Here's the next pitch, and that is ball 4. So a quick at bat there. 5-pitch walk. Maben walks for the second time in the ball game. And Espinosa will be the next batter. Alan Webster, who's pitching, is supposed to be wearing number 55, but we were told for some reason he forgot to bring his jersey with him here to Tempe today, so he's wearing number 87 today. But it can get confusing here for these Cactus League games, but this is Webster who's still pitching. He's the guy who started the game, and he's still out there.
It does happen very often.
And there's one that's high. 1 ball, no strikes.
Saw Jeffrey Martin forgot his jersey the other day too.
He went from 19 to 99.
Wow, that's quite a leap.
180
plus, man.
Trip on the road. That's right.
Wow.
Yep. And no name on the back of any jersey either. And there goes the runner, Maben. The pitch is a ball. The throw is a little bit high. It's a stolen base. Maben steals second, running the Angels down by a couple runs in this ball game. He's in scoring position now.
Angels keep running. That is number 37. And Maben's got 4 of them. Good jump. He's got the long strides, high knees, nice running form. And sliding right through that bag. Got a piece of Profar. Who had his foot out in front of the bag.
Danny Espinosa is the batter. He's driven in a pair already today. He's the tying run at the plate. No action right now for the Rangers in their bullpen. They had some action earlier in this game with Webster pitching. He had a rough first inning, and there's a cut and a miss by Espinosa for a strike. 2-1 to count.
Espinosa pretty much feel like everything's coming together now finally after starting out with a lot of swings and misses, chasing outside the zone. Now seeing the bigger part of the field, knowing that naturally he can react because he does have power in that inner half.
Maben was getting a pretty good sized lead at second. Profar snuck in behind, and then the pitcher Webster stepped off the rubber time call.
Been Terry a lot of pickoff attempts and bat timings between the middle infielders and the pitchers today on both sides.
Next delivery, that's hit hard but foul down the right side, back to the seats and out of play.
Every time you see a middle infielder break towards the bag and you see that pitcher go home, there's a big problem, especially if it happens in a regular season where managers, pitching coaches can get pretty upset. Spring training, sometimes you get away with it because, of course, you're learning about teammates and plays that are put on, and somebody misses a play or a sign. And it's easy to miss, but for sure, you got to sharpen things up going into the regular season and not create more holes for the batter.
2-2, and that one is waved at and missed. He got him, struck him out. So that's out number 2 in the inning.
That's good pitching there by Webster. Hung the off speed. Espinosa crushes it foul and goes right back with it. Same lane, different tilt, and of course, much different speed. And got Espinosa thinking about the hard contact he had just made. Missed it.
It's a third strikeout for Webster. He's walked 4. And here's the first pitch. And this is Maldonado batting, and he takes it for strike 1.
So Meyer made a total of 63 pitches. And here comes pitch number 59 for Webster.
Webster's delivery. That's taken for a strike, and now it's 0-2. We have seen so many good things from Martin Maldonado this spring behind the plate. The one area, though, where he's been down, it's been batting, and he is hitting under 120 this spring.
Started today 4 for 33. Another one that would like to cut down on the strikeouts.
There's a 2-strike pitch, and that one is inside on him for a ball.
Maldonado has the ability to get on base, as he showed last year for Milwaukee, to drive the baseball and take his walks, work some deep at bats, but looking to make more contact. The Angels are one of the best teams in the big leagues in making contact with 2 strikes.
There's one that's low and outside. Maldi is a .217 career hitter.
Maldi. Would that come from Renicky?
That's right. That's what Ronnie likes to call him. He's his former manager in the days with Milwaukee. 2-2, and he cuts and misses. That one struck him out. Ball picked up by Jimenez. Throws to first, completes a strikeout, and that will end the inning. Angels leave Maven at second. We're headed to the 4th inning now, and it's a 5-3 Texas lead on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Here in the 4th inning, it'll be the top of the batting order for the Rangers. Delino DeShields, Shin-Soo Choo, and Jurickson Profar. The Angels have a new first baseman. Matt Thaiss is playing at that position now for the Halos, and he replaces Luis Valbuena, who is 0 for 1 today with a walk.
Let's just hope it's not a setback for Valbuena in that left leg.
Yeah. There's a pitch on the outside corner. That's a called strike.
Well, Balbuena flew out to left fielder last time he was up. He was not exactly sprinting towards first base.
Next delivery, and that's a little bit low and outside, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike. In the Angels' other game, it's going on in Peoria today against Seattle. Yusmeiro Petit, who started that game, has now been taken out. Did a pretty good job. 3 2/3 innings, allowed 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. And he's another pitcher in the Angels camp who's kind of in the mix as far as the bullpen is concerned. He's on a minor league deal.
That's right. That's another non-roster player making a vie for a spot. And Petit started today, Terry, with 7 innings, having only allowed 1 run.
Yeah, and did not allow any today. Here's the pitch. That's fouled off to our right. Back and out of play. That was right around that window over there that Torrey Hunter was sneaking a peek the other day when Torrey Hunter Jr. was playing for the Angels.
I think that's going to be a moment that we're all going to remember for a long time.
Yeah.
Torrey Hunter Jr. pinch running for Mike Trout, and Daddy hiding over there, and as nervous as heck, as he described it.
Right. Yep. Here's the 2-2, and that one is low and outside. I saw Torrey and Torrey Jr. after that game when I was leaving the stadium a couple days ago, and great to visit with him. And he gave me a big hug. He said, "Man, you haven't changed one bit. You still look the same.
Terry,
I haven't seen you in a few years."
Yeah, you do, Terry.
Yeah.
Come on. Give yourself some credit.
I guess that made me feel pretty good.
Yeah, you had to. Of course.
Here's the 3-2, and that is cut on and missed. Struck him out. Boy, Parker came in last inning and struck out Jimenez and Bernier, and he strikes out the first batter that he faces here to start out the 4th inning, the leadoff man to Shields.
This is making things quite interesting for Mike Scioscia and the staff, and they said it right from week 1. There's going to be some tough decisions at the end, but we welcome all the surprises, and Parker has been one of them. He has come out and just thrown the ball very well and thrown strikes.
So here is Chu. The Angels haven't gotten him out so far today. He's had a walk. He's had a stolen base. He's scored a run. He's also had a single. Left-handed batter, and the first pitch, breaking ball right in there. And boy, Parker is really throwing strikes.
There, the other pitcher Mike Scioscia was referring to this morning, besides Valdez and Parker, was Cody Iggy, who Mike Scioscia says, I don't describe him as a lefty specialist. And we saw how good he was against right-handers.
Yeah.
Yesterday, last time out. And how good he's been against right-handers throughout the spring.
Right.
And the Angels are counting on Jose Alvarez.
And we could see him today.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll see what happens. Deolis Guerra also making a push. He's off the roster.
Counts 1-1 on Chu. Shift on right side of the infield. Next pitch in there for a strike. In that Angels game against Seattle, they're in the top of the 5th. The last time we checked, the Angels are up 6-0. Ben Revere's had 2 hits, including a homer. Eric Young Jr., who's been making a few things happen here in the Cactus League, he's hit a home run. Cliff Pennington has 2 hits in that ball game for the Angels, and a 6-run Angels lead in the 5th. And the pitch, that's low. It skips away from the catcher Maldonado. It's 2-2.
It was sad to report here the passing of former Phillies, Yankees, and Mets manager Dallas Green at age 82. He managed the Phillies, the World Championship in 1980.
That's right. Of course, was a major league pitcher as well, Dallas Green. There's a swing and a miss at a 2-2 pitch, and another strikeout. So Chu is down on strikes. Parker 4 for 4 in striking out batters here so far in this ball game. And here's Profar. Fans, don't forget to join the Angels for spring training right here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Don't forget, on March the 24th, the Angels will host the Seattle Mariners. Don't forget, first pitch for that ball game. It's on Saturday. Will be at 5:10. Or on Friday, I should say. And fans will enjoy a post-game concert by Gavin DeGraw. You can visit angels.com/promotions to purchase your tickets today. Again, that's this Friday. First pitch is in there on Profar for a strike.
I'm still awaiting your preview on that concert. You're really good with the music, so you need to fill me in off air.
All right, I'll let you in on my research, Jose. Here's the pitch, and that's a swing and a miss.
Sure, so you've been involved with music and radio stations since teenage days?
Sure. Yep. When I was actually in high school, did a little work-study program at a radio station my senior year in high school.
So this was part of the high school curriculum?
Correct.
You were assigned to a station?
That's right.
Right.
Growing up in Philadelphia, that's exactly right. Here's the 2-strike pitch, and that one is waved at and missed. That's 5 for 5 strikeouts for Parker against every hitter he's faced since coming into the ball game last inning.
He's on this team right now.
Yeah, strikes out the side in order here in the 4th. The bottom of the inning is next. 5-3 Texas on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels ready to bat. Bottom of the 4th we go. New pitcher for the Rangers, Mike Hochschild, will take over. We saw him last Friday when these two teams squared off against each other. And in that ball game, Texas beat the Angels 6-5. First pitch on the first batter up for the Angels, Andrelton Simmons, in there for a strike. Hochschild was the starting pitcher in that game last Friday against the Angels, and his next delivery, that's foul back behind the plate. He's a guy, we mentioned it on Friday, trying to win a spot on their pitching staff and win a spot in their rotation, at least at the start of the season.
And that's one thing the Rangers know. They have to be quite deep for the challenges pitching at home in the regular season.
Next pitch, and that one is fouled off down the left side, not too far from the Rangers bullpen down in that corner.
Got to give some credit there to Alan Webster and what appeared to be an outing where he was going to be in trouble and allow many more runs after the first inning. Even though it wasn't the prettiest of outings, he found a way to get the zeros.
That last 2 innings were scoreless for him. Overall, 3 innings, he allowed 3 hits, 3 runs earned, 4 walks. And it looks like 4 strikeouts. 0-2 now on Simmons as Hochschild works here. This is his 6th appearance this spring, his 3rd in relief. His ERA is 4.05. And the next delivery, and that's a swing and a miss. Chasing one high and outside is Simmons. Struck him out.
Rothschild goes glove side upstairs, throwing across his body. He is a guy that will land extremely out towards the right-hander's batter's box. The Angels had a little bit of trouble picking up the baseball back at the Surprise Stadium with that mound in the background.
So one gone, and the top of the order now. Escobar batting. Pitch taken for strike one. Here's the next pitch. That's tapped foul on the left side. In that game we saw Rothschild last week. He did allow 7 hits in 3 innings and 4 runs. They all ended up being earned against him. Infield is back, and here's the 0-2. That's fouled back by Escobar, back to the screen.
That ball was on Escobar so quickly, and that's what I was talking about. He comes in very deliberate. You can see the markings even just on the landing spots from the pitchers that have been on the mound and how pronounced his is. Going straight at the right-hander's batter's box.
Next delivery, and checking on that one is Escobar. Pitch was a ball.
It's a family name that I know you've been connected with for a long time.
Yeah. Don't know the family very well, but met his dad a number of years ago. His father, Doug, who's been a longtime sports information director for the University of Dayton. There's a ball chopped over on the third base side, handled by Bernier, and the throw will get Escobar. And that's the second out. Cole Calhoun will be the batter. It's had a 1-for-2 ball game. Trout waiting on deck. Angels got all 3 runs in the first inning. Rangers got 3 in the first as well, and then they added on single tallies in the second and third. They lead at 5-3 here in the fourth. Shift on against Calhoun. We see it a lot. 3 on the right side of the infield, and the first pitch he takes it for ball 1.
That's why it was so great to see Cole Calhoun slap one right to the shortstop. Hard ground ball, first time up, base hit left field. Increase in his on-base percentage last year. Slugging. And a guy that really does a great job setting the table, and of course takes advantage when the table is also set up for him.
2-0 the count on Cole.
So Terry, with his grouping we see here with his Angels lineup, Mike Scioscia looking to take advantage of Simmons, who had a good year with a bat last year. Simmons hit .281. And Escobar, of course, who was in the top 10 again in hitting, this time in the American League. So hopefully that'll all serve up to feed the top of the order up to the middle.
Well, you look at the Angel lineup today, and this could be very similar to the opening day lineup against Oakland. There's ball 4. Cole Calhoun keeps the inning alive with a 2-out walk, and that'll give Trout a chance to bat. And looking at the Angels lineup today, you have 3 guys in the lineup who all hit over 300 last year. You mentioned Escobar, and Trout, who's going to step up. He hit .315. Maben hit over 300 last year.
And now that Simmons is here, you have the opportunity to group guys, see how it all works out. The only variance here for opening night, I would say, everybody staying healthy, is Maldonado and Carlos Perez.
So here's Trout digging in, taking that one for a called strike. Mike's been on base twice. Of course, in his career with the Angels, he's been an on-base machine. No hits for him today. He's had a walk. He's also been hit by a pitch. And here's the next one on Trout. He hits one right to the shortstop. It's fielded there by Profar. He'll flip to second. They'll force out Calhoun, and the inning is over on the fielder's choice. Not a whole lot happening here in the Angels fourth. We go to the fifth. Still a 5-3 Texas lead on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Cam Bedrosian is going to be pitcher number 3 of the day. He replaces Blake Parker. It'll be tough to do better than what Parker did. He faced 5 batters, did Blake Parker, and he struck out every one of them.
Terry, there was a statement made today by somebody that wants to be on the Angels ball club.
Really? And it was a strong statement, no doubt, by Blake Parker today. That was impressive. So here's Cam Bedrosian. He pretty much knows he's going to be on the opening day roster, and he's hoping that he could be the Angels opening day closer. And he's done a good job so far this spring for the Angels. We haven't seen him a whole lot. This appearance will be his 5th this spring. He's only worked 4 innings, but in the 4 innings, he's given up 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts.
At least those appearances have been kind of bunched up. He was behind a couple of weeks pretty much with the abductor issue, his groin.
And the first delivery here on Ryan Rua. He takes it for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the next pitch. And that one is on the outside corner. That's a called strike. Rangers leading the Angels here 5-3 as we start the 5th inning, and the next delivery that's a little bit high and away. 2-1.
As we mentioned, Bedrosian and Bailey at the back end of the Angels bullpen in the absence because of the injury to Houston Street. Bedrosian 1 career save, and that came last season for the Angels when he pitched terrific for 40 1/3 innings. ERA 1.12.
There's one fouled off to our right, backing out of play.
That save came on August 2nd against Oakland. And it came on 1-2-3, 3 strikeouts.
Former first-round pick of the Angels back in 2010, Cam Bedrosian. He was the 29th player taken overall in that draft. When he began his professional career with the Angels, he was a starting pitcher. And the next delivery in on the 2-2, that was a good-looking pitch that gets Rua swinging like he gave him a slider there, struck him out.
That's been pretty much the go-to pitch now that he's away from the big breaking ball. This was made him more efficient in the big leagues because he's able to finish it, not just spin it out there. Everything looks like a fastball to the hitter, who has to respect at 95-96. Start their swings and not be able to reach it as it breaks away.
So James Loney is the batter.
That is now 6 consecutive strikeouts for Angels pitching.
And there's one that's taken for a called strike. So let's see here. There have been 13 outs recorded against Texas. They are leading the game by a couple runs, but of the 13 outs they've made, 10 of them have been on strikeouts.
The last 9 batters, 7 strikeouts.
Yeah. 0-2 is the count here on Loney. Second baseman Danny Espinosa is a few feet back on the outfield grass. He's playing deep, and the next pitch, Loney takes high and outside.
For Bedrosian, recommended by his father, you see him collect himself. He looks down around his toes. Get part of that routine down, clear the mind. Terry, clear the mechanism. Like Billy Chappell. Start again.
There's a swing and a miss, and Loney is out on strikes. Boy, oh boy, the Rangers now, just after making a lot of contact in the first inning of this ball game and to some degree in the second and third, now they can't make any contact.
Well, there's a hole in those barrels right now. 7 consecutive punch-outs. The Angels pitchers attacking on the attack, the bullpen with Parker, now Bedrosian, who had to share strikeouts last year in 40 1/3 innings, 51.
So here is Cesar Puello, and the first pitch to him, that's low and outside.
On time, a big-time prospect, Cesar Puello.
Ground out. He's also reached on an error, scored a run. Right-hander against right-hander. 1-0 pitch. That's a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
Boyer once rated the top 3 prospect of the Mets system by Baseball America. Career .282 hitter in the minor leagues with a .362 on-base percentage. And as you mentioned, Terry, 133 times he's been hit by pitches.
Yeah, that's amazing. He's in his 10th year now professionally. He's never played in the big leagues. Came in hitting .200 this spring with the Rangers.
He can run, too. He's had years of 45 stolen bases, 24 stolen bases, and also years of 22 hit by pitches, 20, and 2 years of 16 and 21.
Yeah. So he's in the hole 1-2, and here comes the pitch, and he made contact. He hits the ball right to second. Easy play there for Espinosa, and the inning is over. Well, the strikeout string ends at 7 straight batters, but it's another clean inning for an Angel reliever, and we're headed to the bottom of the 5th. The Angels still trailing by a couple. It's 5-3 Rangers on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. We move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Albert Pujols will lead it off, and he is facing Mike Hochschild, who came in last inning. First pitch on Albert is strike. He's gone 0 for 2 today, and here's the next one. He cuts at that one and fouls it off over on the left side. No balls, 2 strikes. They do have the left side infield shift on Albert, thinking he'll be pulling it on the shortstop side. Here's the pitch. He fouls that one back to our right, out of play. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. On the 0-2, that one was up and in on Albert. He dropped the bat, moving off the plate on that pitch that missed for a ball.
Albert's in a few pitches in that inner third today, in for strike and also off the plate. One just got away from the youngster.
1-2 delivery. He had Albert reaching at that one. He pops it up foul right side back to the seats and out of play.
Terry, reaching is absolutely accurate. That's what happens. The effect of anything up and in. And it doesn't matter what your name is. We're talking about a Hall of Famer here. Next swing. Not very good. But Albert's still able to protect.
So Albert deep in the hole here. We'll see how it plays out. 1-2 delivery. And he tried to pick at the outside corner and came close to having that one called a strike, but it missed a little bit wide. 2-2. Pretty good pitch, though. Rothschild's 2-2. Albert cracks his bat, grounds it right to the third baseman. Bernier went down to stop it. Gets up and throws and gets Pujols for the out. So that is out number 1. Matt Thaiss will be the next batter. And fans, don't forget, you can host a business function or celebrate a special occasion in your own private suite at the Big A. Suite rentals offer all-inclusive food and beverage packages. Visit angels.com/suites to reserve your suite today. 1 out. Thaiss is batting. He's up from minor league camp today. Angels first round pick last June, and here's the delivery. Checks the swing on that one, and the pitch was high for a ball.
Now Thaiss already getting into the flow of minor league games that started just a few days ago. Getting to meet some of his new teammates.
Next pitch, that's fouled back. Well, when we've seen him play for the Angels this spring, he's done a good job, especially with the bat. 5 for 13. That's a .385 batting average.
He's got good recognition, knowledge of the strike zone. That imaginary rectangle right in front of him. He approaches it very well and very consistently.
Next pitch, he chops that one on the first base side. It's handled there by Rua. He flips to the pitcher, Hochschild covering. That's the second out. Cam Maben will be the next batter. Maben has had a pair of walks, 1 forced in a run, and he's also stolen a base today. Rangers have 5 runs on 5 hits. The Angels have 3 runs on 3 hits. This matchup today between these two teams, the final one this spring. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball in there called strike.
That's a threat by Maben on bunting. Brings that third baseman flying in. And as many high hoppers as he is to the third baseman, that can buy him a few base hits in the regular season.
There's one low and away on Maben, 1-1.
And here's something you don't see very often. First baseman playing in on the grass against a right-handed batter. As a pitch comes in, he's creeping right in there.
There's another pitch he takes, and that one was called a strike by Alfonso Marquez, the home plate umpire. 1-2. Rothschild, a pretty quick worker, delivers, and there's one that's skied into center field. Under and waiting on it out there. Making the grab is the center fielder Puello, and that will end the inning. Ball was hit pretty good, but a fairly routine out to end the inning. That's it for the Angels in the 5th. 6th inning is next, and it's a 5-3 Texas lead on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Andrew Bailey is the new Angel pitcher, the 4th of the day. He replaces Cam Bedrosian, who had a clean 5th inning with a pair of strikeouts. So we'll see how Bailey fares here today. They'll face Robinson, Jimenez, and Bernier, the bottom third of the batting order for Texas. For Andrew Bailey, appearance number 6 of the spring. 4 2/3 innings. He's allowed only 3 hits, but 4 earned runs, and he's walked 6 in those 4 2/3 innings while striking out 5. His ERA is 7.71.
He seems to be just fine. You take away one outing where he walked 3 or 4 guys, and things were skewed in that direction, but he's quite happy. So is Charles Nagy, his pitching coach, on how the ball's coming out of his hand and velocity that's been creeping up.
So the first pitch by Bailey on Robinson. He takes it for ball 1.
But Terry, he's got some big shoes to fill here after Parker and Bedrosian.
Yeah, the Angels' first 2 relievers of the day, terrific, not allowing a single base runner. Here's a pitch that's cut on and missed. 1-1 the count.
Parker, 5 batters faced, 5 strikeouts. Bedrosian faced 3 batters, 2 strikeouts. And Parker came in a situation where he had to work out of a jam and help out Alex Meyer.
Here's the next delivery, and that one is going to be taken for a ball. It's 2-1 on Drew Robinson.
Fine young player. This guy had 54 extra base hits last year. We saw him drive one here today to the right field wall.
Cuts at the next pitch, fouls it off on the left side.
And something I like that the Rangers have done with him, Terry, is they have exposed him to play different positions all throughout the minor leagues. Keep the bat in the lineup and to see where he's going to flourish with a glove, because he can really hit.
Next pitch, he takes that one low for a ball. The Rangers farm system coming into this season is not as highly rated as it has been in recent years. They're kind of in the, according to some people anyway, now in the bottom third of the majors as far as farm systems. And there was a time where, Jose, they were certainly in the top third now in the farm system.
What they've done so well is they have used that top-rated farm system to acquire big league players,
right,
to help them out.
And so that'll thin things out. It only makes sense. And you go back a few years, maybe back to 2012, 2013, you could argue their farm system was just about as good as anybody in baseball's. Here's a pitch that misses ball 4 on Robinson, so he is on with a leadoff walk.
Well, Terry, they got Cole Hamels, they got Luke Croy, and a few other players here and there that you go, well, better to wait for these prospects to develop if they ever develop, or to get these established guys, and they've done the right thing.
Yeah. They were in a position to acquire some of those guys that you mentioned because their farm system at the time was so stacked.
And John Daniels and the staff and baseball operations do a great job recognizing year after year, evaluating some of these players, heavily involved in Latin America, international scouting. I'll bet everybody for Yu Darvish years ago. They're already talking about Yu Darvish and a possible extension to his contract.
Yeah, Darvish will be a free agent at the end of this season, so see how that all plays out.
Got a nice 1-2-3 with Hamels, Darvish, Martin Pettis.
The toss over to first base, and back to the bag goes Robinson. Leadoff man getting on for Texas here, starting off the 6th inning. They lead the Angels 5-3. It's been the score going back to inning number 3. Bailey will take time. He's not a real quick worker, and he will toss over to first base once again.
Big lead to first base. Robinson really getting off and creeping little by little, as the Rangers came out putting a lot of pressure on the Angels in the very first inning, stealing some bags. Robinson himself stole 17 last year in 22 attempts. Brown Rock.
And he's on the move. The pitch is missed. The throw to second. He's gunned down. Maldonado guns down Robinson, trying to steal second base.
Well, great job of Maldonado picking that up. The Rangers had attempted also a delayed steal early in the game after a strikeout. And Marty Maldonado, as good as anybody, allowing himself to see the play develop in front of him. And the instinctive Jeff Bannister trying to catch the Angels sleeping, but Martin guns him down.
That is a 2-4 caught stealing. Catcher to second baseman applying the tag. Next batter still in there at the plate is Jimenez. He was batting while the stolen base attempt occurred. Fouls this pitch off, so the count's 1-2.
Also Alfredo Griffin, who handles the Angels infield, is quite happy. Content having an animated conversation over there because of the awareness of Danny Espinosa staying also with the play.
Here's the next delivery. It's popped in the air in a shallow right field. Coming in, circling under, and making the grab is Cole Calhoun. Out number 2. Doug Bernier, the 9-hole hitter, will be the next batter. Bernier's had a single and 2 at-bats. He's also scored a run.
We were talking about the Phillies team and the passing of Dallas Green today, Terry, and those teams. And one of those guys on that team have been big names, Manny Trio. And watching Bernier make a throw to second base earlier from third base, I said, there's a little Manny Trio in that throw. Slings the ball from a real low angle. Submariner from third base.
Here's the pitch on Bernier. That one is a little bit low. I actually attended one of the games of that World Series, and it wasn't in Philadelphia. It was in Kansas City, believe it or not.
Nice.
Yep, sure did. That was the first time I ever saw a World Series game in person.
Our favorite Schmitty.
Yeah.
48 home runs, 121 RBIs for Mike Schmidt that year. Bull Lazinski.
Pitch is fouled off, and I might have been one of the few Phillies fans cheering. Well, I wasn't really cheering. I was just kind of being very quiet about the developments in that World Series with that game I attended in Kansas City. Just watched it, but I was pulling for the Phils.
Yeah, ever fiery Philly fans.
Yep.
Very passionate.
There's a pitch that's low for a ball. 2-1 to count.
Let's see. Bull Lazinski had 19 home runs that year.
How many did Mike Schmidt have that year?
48 and 121 RBIs. His OPS, nobody kept track of OPS back then. 1,004. Slugging 624. On base 380. And again, rest in peace, Mr. Green.
Yep. Long-time baseball man in many different roles. 2-2 pitch, and that's low. So it's a full count, 3-2. One thing when Andrew Bailey is in games, he determines the pace of the pitch. That's lined into center field. That's going to drop in. That's a bloop single. So a 2-out hit. And now the top of the batting order. The Shields will step up. This will be his 4th at bat. He's had 2 walks and he's had a strikeout so far.
That was one of those times when you overspin a breaking ball, throw it too hard, then the hitter can really get a better gauge on it, especially if it's up around the eyes. Good job, Bernier. Twice today he's hit balls up the middle on breaking balls.
Escobar, the Angels' third baseman, is in on the grass. Holding the bag is Theis over there at first. And there's another toss over to first base, and back to the bag goes the base runner Bernier. Weather a little cooler in the valley today. Cloud cover for this game. Could have a little wet weather coming in here tomorrow. We'll see. That's kind of the forecast right now for parts of the valley.
It's going to feel good after so many days of the high 90s. It's supposed to be in the mid 70s perhaps tomorrow.
Yeah, with the Angels having home games here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm sure we'll have a lot of fans coming in from Southern California to see the Angels in action this coming weekend, the final weekend of games for the Angels here in the Valley.
Absolutely, Terry, winding down just like that.
Yep.
What it is, obviously a longer spring training because of the World Baseball Classic. About an additional 5 games were thrown in there. Cactus League action because of that tournament.
Here's the next pitch, and that's on the outside corner. It's a called strike.
Good to see Team USA in that final against Puerto Rico and Jim Leland.
Marcus Stroman is going to start that game for the U.S.
Struggled last time against Puerto Rico and eventually settled down.
Here's the 1-1. That's fouled off on the right side, backing out of play.
I should say struggled in the first inning and then settled down, but minimized the damage.
So this has been a 20-pitch inning right now here for Bailey. He's way in front on DeShields, 1-2. And the 2-strike pitch. That's fouled off to our right, backing out of play. We'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, DeShields looks good. Of course, great bloodlines with his father, Delino DeShields Sr., who stole 463 bases in the major leagues.
DeShields, a player who had a scary thing happen to him back in April of 2014. Hit in the face with a pitch, suffered a broken cheekbone and a concussion. There's a pitch low to him. Snap throw up the first base side. Back to the bag goes Bernier.
Anytime that happens there, you can see right away you start getting back into the batter's box, start getting evaluated. The flinching, anything near your body, you start flinching away. And for some guys, they really never get over it.
Yeah. See a lot of players wear kind of that side flap to protect the cheekbone. He does not. And the pitch, that's chopped foul over on the left side.
Well, there's somebody the U.S. really needs to step up today for them that wears one of those flaps protectors. Giancarlo Stanton, Team USA, who got hit in the face
right
by a Mike Fiers pitch a couple years back.
The irony of the situation with DeShields a few years ago was the guy that threw the pitch then became a reliever for the Rangers. That was Phil Klein, as that one is low and outside.
As it happens so often now, players changing uniforms constantly.
So a full count here, and you see Bailey have these kind of innings. You really do. And to his credit, more times than not, he wiggles out of these long pitch innings, and he just did it again. There's
you called it.
Third strike right there, and that's how the inning will end. Another strikeout for Angels pitching, and in this ball game here, that is the 12th strikeout already for the Angels. But as we get ready to move to the bottom of the 6th, it's still a Texas lead. They're up on the Angels 5-3 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.
off for your Angels, number 3, Danny Espinosa.
Couple of changes here for Texas as the Angels get set to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. They have a new pitcher, right-hander Anthony Bass. He will be their 3rd pitcher of the day, and they have a new left fielder. Matt Lipka takes over for Delino DeShields. So at the plate is Danny Espinosa. First pitch from the new reliever. It's taken for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes. Right side infield shift on. 3 infielders there. Here's the next one from Bass, and it's hit right on the right side at the second baseman, and Robinson will throw out Espinosa. One quick out here to start off the Angels 6th, and Maldonado will be the next batter. Martinez grounded out and struck out today. Anthony Bass, fastball 96 will top out, slider and changeup, and he pitched in Japan last year. There's the delivery. That one is low. He's good friends with Matt Shoemaker. They've worked out together in the offseason.
He went to Wayne State. He's out of Dearborn, Michigan.
Right.
And a guy that was on the fast track to becoming a top-notch starter in the big leagues.
He pitched for the Rangers in 2015. Then I mentioned he pitched in Japan last year, 8-8 record as a starter and reliever in the Japanese league. And now he's back in the States and back with the Rangers. Here's the next pitch, and that's a little bit low. Maldonado has worked a 2-1 count against Anthony Bass.
Bass has always had the fastball. Just trying to find somehow that consistency that has eluded him in his passing through the major leagues. It's been with the Padres, Astros, and Rangers.
Pitch fouled off by Maldonado, so it's a 2-2 count.
Angels got to see him early in his big league career when he was with the Padres. I recall talking to Jared Weaver. One of the interleague games the Angels played in San Diego at Petco. Weaver said, of course, I have to pitch and hit against the top prospect today.
Yeah.
So where's Weave now? There he is. He's a Padre. Go figure.
Here's a pitch that Maldonado takes, a 2-strike delivery, and he got him looking. Struck him out. 2 are gone. Bass is working in his 7th game this spring. They've all been in relief for the Rangers, and in 10 innings he has 6 strikeouts. He's allowed 13 hits. ERA 4.50 this spring.
As we mentioned, the Padres understand that there are 3 rotation spots locked up. 2 others up for grabs. And 2 out of those 3, Terry, by former Angels. Jared Weaver and Jhoulys Chacin have spots locked up for the Padres in the rotation. And the 3rd one has gone to Clayton Richard, who's bounced back again.
There's the pitch. That one is a little bit low and outside. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Padres do this season. Not many people think it's going to go real well for them. And San Diego last year lost 94 games. They've had 6 straight losing seasons, and there aren't too many people thinking it's going to improve a whole lot. Only time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, time and what happens on the field.
2 balls and 1 strike is the count on Simmons. First game back with the Angels from the World Baseball Classic. He's had a 1-for-2 ball game. Here's the next pitch, and that one is in there. I want to remind Angel fans, the bottom of the 6th inning, it's being brought to you by our friends at Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana. Rotolo Chevrolet is pursuing excellence every day. You can visit them at rotolo.com. That's rotolo.com. Here's the 2-2 delivery. That's low, smothered by the catcher Jimenez, and it's a full count on Simmons.
Simmons has been the world traveler the last 5 weeks or so. He went from Phoenix, started Curacao to Phoenix, Phoenix to Korea, Korea to Japan, Japan back to Arizona, and then off to LA and back in Arizona.
Yeah, he's logged some frequent flyer miles. Yeah. that counts added a few.
He's from Mundo Novo and Curacao. His round with Team Netherlands started in that pool over in Korea. They moved on.
Full count on him. We'll see what happens with 2 outs and the pitch, and that's low, ball 4. So he's on for the second time today. Send it back up to the top of the batting order. We'll see if Escobar can get on track here. He's 0 for 3, and he has not gotten a ball out of the infield today.
Yunel has taken big swings today. Very unusual and out of character for him. Seems to me like he's trying to find it all in one at bat. Has not had a very good spring, but again, he's been absent a few times. Due to flying to Florida to get his citizenship a couple times, and then away, absent because of the abdominal strain.
Pitch was low to him. It got away from the catcher Jimenez, but he quickly got the ball under control, and no advancement by Simmons over there. 1 ball, no strikes on Escobar.
This is game number 24 for the Angels, and this is Escobar's 11th game.
Pass is set, and the next pitch, that's low and outside. 2-0.
So we're going to find out, Terry, how game 25 is going on the other side of town. But Ben Revere hitting a home run today. Yusmeiro Petit.
Eric Young Jr. had homered for the Angels, who are playing the Mariners today in Peoria.
Angels are up 9-2 in the top of the 7th inning.
The next pitch, that's high. So Bass falls behind 3-0, and he just got done walking Simmons. So all of a sudden, his command a little bit off. 17 pitch inning for him right now. And the 3-0, taking that one all the way, is Escobar, and he takes his strike.
That game for the Angels over in Peoria against the Mariners, up 9-2 in the 7th inning. Ben Revere home run, Eric Young Jr. home run, and Jeffrey Marte hit his 3rd.
Here's the next pitch, and checking on that one is Escobar. They say he was holding. It's ball 4. So back-to-back 2-out walks. Angels have a little something brewing now, and the next batter will be Cole Calhoun.
As a formula, Mike Scioscia will welcome anytime and plenty of times throughout this upcoming season. Bottom of the order, keeping the inning alive. Speed at second base. And Escobar's ability to get on base is shown here with a walk.
So Calhoun will be stepping up in that other Angel game. Jose was mentioning 7-2. Angels leading Seattle.
It's now 9-2.
And now 9-2. That's right. Dustin Ackley just had an RBI double in that ball game. Ray Navarro just had a sac fly. Kirby Yates did give up a 2-run homer in that game to former Angel farmhand Gene Segura. Yates is another guy that's trying to find a spot in the bullpen.
Yeah, right. It's near 7 right now. He's got the arm. He's got to put it all together.
So let's see what Calhoun can do here against Bass. 2 on, a couple outs. That one is low. The Angels, after scoring the 3 runs in the first inning, have had only 1 hit in this game after the first inning. But are still very much in this game, down by just a couple.
And with the pace of this game, it seems like this game is like 10-1. One swing away from taking the lead.
I thought you were going to say it feels like it's 10 hours long.
That too. Right on the money.
There's a pickoff toss. Diving back to the bag goes the lead runner. That is Simmons at second. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mike Trout would be up next. He's been on base 3 times today, but without a hit. Here's the next one on Calhoun, and he taps that one foul. It's going to roll right over near Trout. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Cole Calhoun, all-star caliber player. Played 157 games last year for the Angels. The previous year in 2015 played 159 games.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. He takes that one a little bit high. 2-2. Angels have had only 3 hits. Haven't had any against any of the relievers so far today for Texas. They got all the hits against the starter Webster. Counts 2-2. Next delivery, and that is a called third strike. Calhoun is out looking, and the Angels will leave a couple runners on base as things wrap up here in the bottom of the 6th. We're headed to the 7th inning. 5-3 Texas on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels go to the bullpen once again. 4th reliever of the day is Jose Alvarez. He's back from the World Baseball Classic as well. First time we've seen him in a while. He'll face Hoying, Profar, and Rua, unless the Rangers decide to take some of the starters out. But just looking down in the on-deck circle, at least Hoying and Profar certainly appear to be going to bat here in the inning. I want to remind Angel fans and runners, you can join us on April the 22nd for the Angels 5K and Family Fun Run. It's presented by St. Joseph Hoag Health. It will allow participants to get a T-shirt, a medal, a ticket voucher for a select Angels home game. Proceeds will benefit the Angels Baseball Foundation. So here is Hoying set to bat. He came in to replace Chu in right field, and he takes the first pitch for a strike.
And the skies just got a little more challenging as the sun has popped out here.
Yeah, it's been under the cloud cover pretty much all day. Here's the pitch, and that's waved at and missed by Jared Hoying. It's now no balls and 2 strikes.
Jose Alvarez, somebody you can depend on. Doesn't matter if it's a righty or a lefty. The Angels did send him down last year to get his act together when it came down to the lefties, where he had some trouble first half of the season.
And he has no trouble there, all there against Hoying as he strikes him out on 3 pitches. There's one away. Alvarez was with Team Venezuela in the WBC.
Yeah, another disappointing showing for Team Venezuela. The team that on the roster was absolutely loaded. And Omar Vizquel, the manager, said there's no excuses. We got outplayed.
Here's Profar batting, and the first pitch, he takes that one outside. Switch hitter batting right. He's had an 0 for 2 day with a sac fly. Alvarez delivers, and that is right in there.
Jose Alvarez, in 40 games before the All-Star break, had an ERA of 4.38. Opponents hit .313 against him. 24 games after the All-Star break, ERA of 1.77.
His next delivery, it's high and away, it misses. This is his 4th appearance overall this spring for the Angels, but again, he had been away for the last several weeks.
And very noticeable, Terry, what he did is he altered his landing spot, threw more across his body. That was the biggest adjustment. He gets Eric Bennett, AAA, had a lot to do with it as his pitching coach, to hide the ball a little bit better and come across his body more, which he says did not affect the arm slot at all. But the numbers speak for themselves. 4.38 before the All-Star break and 1.7 after.
2-2 is the count. Profar cuts and misses that one. Boy, another strikeout recorded by Angels pitching. Everybody coming in, striking out batters here. But the Angels still trail by a couple of runs. 2 strikeouts to start off this 7th inning.
So we're up to 14 punch-outs.
Yes, we are. 14 strikeouts out of the 20 outs overall against Texas batters. Rua is stepping up. He has struck out twice. And that pitch is in there for a strike.
And as always, Alvarez wasting no time. He sees that sign. He gets the baseball. He is ready to fire away.
Puello is the only hitter in their lineup who has not struck out. There's a swing and a miss, good off-speed pitch. So it's 0-2 now on Rua.
Puello is not the same as Pollo. Jorge Sevilla.
Jose, you've waited all day to say that, and you know
Needed to.
You've waited all day to get that on the air today.
We love Pollo.
And there's a swing and a miss, and Rua is down, and that's 15 strikeouts now for Angels pitchers in this game. But the Rangers are still leading the game. They have a 5-3 lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time from Tempe on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.
Leading off for your Angels, number 27, Mike Trout.
A lot of changes here for the Rangers as we get things started in the Angels' bottom of the 7th inning. At the plate is Mike Trout, and the first pitch, he takes ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Anthony Bass is still pitching, but he has a little different support cast behind him now. We'll get to all those changes in just a moment. And here's the 1-0. That one Trout checks on, and on the appeal they say he was holding. So the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the next delivery, and that is lifted foul on the right side, backing out of play. Eric Aguilera is the first baseman, former Angel farmhand. He's now with the Texas organization. Josh Altman is the new second baseman. Kiner Falefa is now at third base for Texas. Here's the pitch, and Trout checks and tips that one foul.
Yeah, full name is Isaiah Kiner Falefa. Many youngsters. Terry, they told us some guys snuck in the bus. Is that how it was described to us?
That's right. We had a lot of late add-ons here. So Isaiah Kiner Falefa is at third. They also have a new shortstop in the ball game as Trout fouls that one off on the right side, backing out of play. Jason Irizarry is now playing short. They have a new catcher, I believe, in the ball game. No, Jimenez is still there, so I think that's pretty much it as far as the changes right now for the Rangers. Two and 2 is the count on Mike Trout.
Ideal inning for the hitters. If they could put something up in the air, those flags are blowing out. And it's gotten warmer here.
Here's the next pitch, and that's way low and outside, smothered by the catcher. So full count on Mike Trout. Rangers pitchers have walked 7 Angel batters today, but it hasn't really hurt them that much. A couple have scored, but they still have a 2-run lead here in the 7th. And the pitch, Trout drills a ball deep into left center field. That ball is well hit. Out of here, home run. That is his first one this spring. It comes on a 3-2 pitch, and Mike Trout makes it a 1-run Texas lead. It's now 5-4.
Get it up in the air. It's going to travel. It's gotten warmer. You have another at bat. Get to see another pitcher, and the swings are getting better. Line shot out of any ballpark, wind or not, by Mike Trout. We have become so accustomed to seeing that explosiveness out of that barrel.
And that is the first hit the Angels have had since we completed the 2nd inning of this game. So it's a 1-run Texas lead. Here's the next batter for the Angels. And this is Nolan Fontana batting for Albert Pujols. Albert ended up going 0 for 3 today. Here's the next one on Fontana, and he chops the ball right to second. Altman is playing there, and his throw is in time. That'll be the first out.
Now, Fontana himself has put together a nice run here the last 6 or 7 games, and again hits the ball hard. He and that group with Eric Young Jr., Terry, who's homered today at the other ballpark, are showing Mike Scioscia the abilities they have to perhaps be difference makers later in games.
So here's Theis batting for the 2nd time today. Takes that one low, the left-handed batter. Next pitch, and Theis fouls that one back behind home, out of play. Fans, don't forget, register for the 714 Tickets 7th inning sweepstakes. If your name is announced during the 7th inning, you'll win 2 Angels tickets and $25 in 714 Tickets bucks. Plus, you'll be a finalist for a chance to win $7,140. You can register today. Just go to am830.net. The keyword is 714 tickets.
See, Mike Trout keeps pacing around that dugout, feeling very good about that swing, the approach so far. Mike Trout missed being a 30-30 player last year by 1 home run. 29 home runs, 100 RBIs, 30 stolen bases. And so what? He won the MVP. 441 on base percentage, 116 walks.
There's a pitch that is taken by Thaiss, and it evens up the count 2-2. Yeah, Trout had gone homerless first 14 games he appeared in this spring, but connects here in the 7th inning today.
And as he wanted, gradually cutting down on the strikeouts. 2 years ago, he struck out 184 times. Last season, struck out 137 times.
There's another one fouled off over by Cam Maben waiting on deck. 2-2, the count holding here on Thaiss.
Now, Danny Espinosa, a newcomer to the Angels, was saying, well, I've been around superstars with other ball clubs, and he goes, what I can't get over is this guy's the best player in the game and still one of the most humble players I've ever met.
Here's the pitch that's fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. There's a new center fielder in the ball game for the Rangers, and out there in center field is Scott Heineman. Two balls, 2 strikes. And a cut and a miss, and down goes Thaiss. That pitch fooled him right there. Second out here in the inning. That strikeout is the 3rd for Bass since he came in last inning. Only hit he's allowed since coming in. The home run by Trout here in the inning. And with 2 gone, Cameron Maben, who's had an 0-for-1 day with a run batted in, will be the next batter. Here's the pitch. It's chopped on the third base side, skips off the glove of the third baseman, and Maben will be on. Ranging to his left over there was Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and he had it bounce off his glove. That'll keep the inning alive for the Angels. Danny Espinosa will be the batter. They're going to charge Kiner-Falefa with an error on that one over at third base. So that's the 3rd time that Maben has gotten on safely today without a hit. Danny Espinosa's had a hit. He's had 2 RBIs today, and he cuts and misses that one for strike 1. Gonna have a pinch runner for Maben over there. Brennan Lund up from minor league camp as the pinch runner. First time we've seen him this spring. And here's the pitch that's chopped on the right side, out of the reach of the second baseman, and it's through into right field. So that's going to be a base hit for Espinosa. Might see him lifted for a pinch runner as well. That's going to be the case, but the Angels keep the inning going here, have the tying run at second with 2 outs.
Now, Danny Espinosa, after falling behind 0-1 on his own fault, collected himself, able to get something inside the zone and hit it quite well up the middle of the field, which is what I've seen most in his batting practices lately.
So here is Maldonado, who's stepping up. Had a tough day at the plate so far, 0-for-3 with a couple of strikeouts.
Terry got a field goal for that kid at second base, Brennan Lund, who was from Salt Lake City. Angels 11th rounder in 2016. Hit .307 last year. There he is.
So he is the lead runner. And the first pitch here is a ball to count 1-0.
Lund, a good speed, 15 stolen bases in his professional debut. Mike Scioscia giving the youngsters a chance to get their feet wet at this level.
Counts even now. 1-1 strike on Maldonado. There's a pitch a little bit low. 1-1 strike, the count. Matt Williams is the other pinch runner for the Angels over at first base. And it's a 2-1 count here on Maldonado. Boy, he could really use a hit in this situation. Here's the pitch, and he chops one on the left side. Nice stop by the third baseman. Throws to second just in time to nip Williams, and the inning is over. Boy, Maldonado came close to getting that hit, but they make a nice play over there at third. The throw to second is the final out. The inning ends on the 5-4 fielder's choice. So the Angels get one on the Trout leadoff homer in the inning. A couple of hits, a walk, an error in the inning, and the Angels leave a pair of runners on. Seventh is over. The eighth is next, and right now,
Matt Williams, now playing left field from 88 number 28, Brendan Lyman, now playing center field number 84, Michael Hermosillo, now playing right field with Phil Ryan Lamar, now catching number 96, Francisco Garcia, and now pitching number 51.
have a lot of changes for the Angels as we get ready to go to the eighth inning. We'll try our best to pick up all of those. There's a new pitcher, Austin Adams, so he replaces Jose Alvarez. Alvarez struck out the side last inning, and we've had a couple of Angel relievers strike out every batter that they faced today. Blake Parker, 5 batters faced, 5 strikeouts. Alvarez, 3 batters faced, 3 strikeouts. Austin Adams is the new pitcher. His first delivery missed on James Loney, and Loney cuts at the next one and fouls that one off on the left side out of play. The Angels have a whole new look as far as the outfield is concerned. Brennan Lund stays in the game. He's in left. Michael Hermosillo is now playing center. Trout leaving the ball game, and Ryan Lamar is now playing in right field. There's a pitch that's in there for a strike. In the infield, David Fletcher is now playing second base. Jake Yasinich, first time we've seen him, he is playing shortstop. There's a ball chopped on the right side. It's fielded by Theis. He flips to Adams, covering the pitcher, and that'll be a 3-1 ground out, 1 away. Matt Williams stays in the game, and he is at third base. So changes galore here.
Terry, pick me up here.
All right, how's that score sheet going there, Jose?
Very colorful, I must say. Well, it's very red, by the way, with all the punch-outs.
Cozy, when I sense that you're more helpless than me with all this,
there's a problem.
I feel pretty good about things. Not that I wish you any misfortune here, but here is Scott Heineman batting. So we have a batter batting for the first time in the ball game for the Rangers, and that pitch is ball one. It's 1-0. Heineman has taken over in the center field for Texas. And he's batting out of Puello's spot, who was the starting center fielder. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that one is low. I didn't think you ever wanted to see Puello leave the ball game today, Jose.
They took Puello out, man. Remember, it's not the same. It's not the same without him in there.
2-0 is the count on Heineman, and that one is low. 3-0 is the count. Austin Adams is pitcher number 6 of the day for the Angels. He's a guy the Angels got from the Cleveland Indians. He has a very good arm. He's a hard thrower, power arm. He's had some issues this spring, and there's one that misses low for ball 4. So Angels pitching with 5 walks allowed before the next batter steps up here for the Rangers in the 8th inning. They're up 5-4. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. Josh Altman is the batter. This is his first at bat today, hitting out of Drew Robinson's spot. And the first pitch, it's in there for a strike. Let's run down what's going on around the Cactus League. The Angels have another game going on today against Seattle. The last time we checked, it was 9-3. Angels leading that game in the 7th inning. 8th inning, A's are up on the White Sox 5-3. 9th inning, Royals lead the Padres 6-2. 9th inning, and the Giants are up on the Brewers 6-4. Rockies have a 10-2 lead against the Indians in the 9th. Here's a pitch taken for a ball.
The last score we have, Terry, from Peoria: Angels 9, Mariners 5, top of the 8th.
Okay, so they got a couple runs in the 7th inning to cut into the lead a little bit, did Seattle. Here's the 1-1. That's a shot down the left side, and that is a fair ball. It's going to roll all the way down in the left field corner. Lund, a new left fielder, just getting to the ball. They're going to get a run in on this one, headed for third, and sliding in there safely with an RBI triple is Altman. So the lead is back to a 2-run advantage for Texas, 6-4.
Quite unfortunate for Adams, as he mentioned, trying to earn a spot here on this roster. Came into this game with the opponent's batting average against him with .375. It allowed a couple of home runs in 6 innings, 6 earned runs. But 4 walks, and here we go once again. Well, the walks are the ones taking a toll on Adams here again. Also, they're back in that game at Angels at Peoria. Kirby Yates allowed 4 earned runs in an inning and a third himself, also trying to earn a spot on the Angels roster in that bullpen.
First pitch here on A.J. Jimenez. He's been behind the plate all day long for the Rangers, and that one taken for ball 1. Angels have brought the infield in. Here's the next pitch, and that one is a strike on the inside part of the plate.
Adams with the Indians last year. Left-handers hit .375 against him. Right-handers .293.
1 ball, 1 strike. And here's the pitch. That one misses high. In the Florida Grapefruit League today, Rays and Orioles are underway. They're playing under the lights in Florida. It's 2-0 Tampa Bay. They're in the 2nd. A Later on in Cactus League play, the Cubs and Reds will have a night game here in Arizona. Back to the Florida Grapefruit League. Astros beat the Twins 8-4. Yankees won again as that one is fouled off on the third base side. Boy, the Yankees are 19-7 this spring. They beat the Phillies 7-3.
Already named Greg Bird, their opening day first baseman.
Yep. And Tanaka got another win for New York. He has not allowed an earned run all spring. He's now 3-0. Mentioned Bird. He had a pair of home runs in that win for the Yankees today. Cardinals over the Nationals 6-1. Blue Jays beat the Tigers 5-4. Here's the next pitch. That's fouled off to our right, back and out of play. Marlins beat the Mets 15-9 today in Florida Grapefruit League action. Here in Tempe, the Angels trailing the Rangers, and the Angels have been behind just about all day long. It's 6-4. Even though Angels pitchers have struck out 15 Texas batters in this game, the Rangers have the lead. Two balls and two strikes to count. And the next delivery, this is chopped to the shortstop, fires to the plate, and it's late. No tag on there. And then the relay up to first base. That's going to be late. That figures to be an infield RBI hit for Jimenez.
That's a mental mistake there by the shortstop as you go side to side. Even if you're playing in a runner going on contact, anytime you go laterally, goes on contact, you're not going to have a play at the plate unless he stumbles. And that's exactly here what happened.
Been trying to get first base is number 86, Yanni Hernandez.
Yanni Hernandez has come in to pinch run over there at first base for Jimenez, who just got the infield RBI hit. 7-4 Texas now in this game. One ball, no strikes is the count. Isaiah Kiner Falifa is the batter. This is his first time up. Two balls and no strikes is the count. Ready is Adams, and here's the next pitch. This is chopped to short. Looks like two. Flip to second. Relay to first. It is a double play. So that'll do it. The inning is over on that twin killing, and in the inning, a couple runs, though, for Texas as their lead gets a little bit bigger. We are headed to the bottom of the eighth inning. It's 7-4 Rangers on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. We have a new battery in the ball game for Texas as we start the bottom of the 8th inning. The first batter for the Angels is David Fletcher. This is his first time up, and he is hitting out of Simmons' leadoff spot. Andrelton today was 1 for 2, single walk and strikeout in his first game back with the Angels in over 3 weeks. And the next delivery will even up the count. It's 1-1. Colin Wiles is the new pitcher, and Brett Hayes is the new catcher. And that one missed again. 2 balls and a strike. Fletcher's back up from minor league camp when he was with the Angels earlier this spring. Did a nice job. .333 batting average, 9 for 27. And there's another hit for him. Bounces it through on the right side in between Aguilera and Altman, and another hit for Fletcher.
He is not stopping. Nice job the other way. And of course, as he sees this big man coming across and into his body, of course, when it comes down to where he's landing right into the batter's box, Fletcher, who has a tendency to land early, can stop, see the pitch location, and push it the other way.
So here is Lamar. This is his first at bat of the day, and the pitch, and that one is a little bit low and away for a ball.
I'll say he's due Terry to unload. Multi-tool player. He can really run.
1 ball, no strikes. See what happens on the next one to Ryan Lamar. He cuts at it and lifts it high in the air, but foul down the right side, backing out of play.
That's the kind of swing you want to see. Somebody vying for a spot on your roster. Can run, go get him, throws well.
Lamar, .273 average this spring for the Angels. 5 runs driven in. Also showing his speed. He can run a little bit. 3 stolen bases. To toss over to first. Fletcher is back. This bottom of the 8th inning, it's being brought to you by Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana. Rotolo Chevrolet, pursuing excellence every day. Visit them at rotolo.com. That's rotolo.com. Here's the next delivery, and that's low and away.
Colin Wiles, 6'4", 222-pounder out of Shawnee, Kansas. He lives in Overland Park, Kansas, in Kansas City area. He was a supplemental first round, 53rd pick overall in 2012.
This is also his first appearance this spring. He's up from their minor league camp. First appearance with the Rangers this spring.
He signed back in 2012, but he had committed to Vanderbilt University.
They've produced some pretty good pitchers over the years.
In fact, one of them is on the mend, coming back soon than expected, Terry. And Sonny Gray is going to be playing catch a little longer here in the next few days.
Here's a chopper hit the short, could be 2, flip to second 1, relay to first, and that is a double play. So 2 gone, no one on base. Arcia will be the next batter, the new catcher in the ball game for the Angels. This will be his first time up. He's hitting out of Cole Calhoun's number 2 spot today. Calhoun was 1 for 3, had a single and a walk. Arcia batting from the left side. First pitch taken for a ball to count. 1 ball, no strikes. He hasn't had too many at bats this spring with the Angels, just 7 with 1 hit. And the next pitch, he takes that one for a ball. Two and nothing the count on Francisco Arcia, left-handed batter, native of Venezuela, in the Marlins system last year. And he takes that one for a strike, 2-1. Besides catching, he's played a little first base in the past, and the pitch, and he takes that one a little bit low. 3-1. Here's a 3-1 delivery. That's a shot, and it's caught by the third baseman. Isaiah Kiner Falefa jumped up and nabs that one, and the Angels are retired here in the bottom of the 8th. We are headed to the 9th inning in Tempe. Texas leading the Angels 7-4 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels will bring in their 7th pitcher today, and his name is Drew Gagnon. We've seen him a little bit this spring. He's back in minor league camp on the roster for this game today with the Angels. In 4 appearances this spring for the Angels, 0 ERA with a save, 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Angels got him from the Brewers this offseason. He's a SoCal native. Liberty High School in Brentwood, Long Beach State, where he pitched collegiately, and he was in AA and AAA last year in the Milwaukee system. So Matt Lipka will be the first batter here to face him. And the pitch, that's on the outside part of the plate, called strike. Gagnon fastball, good curveball, throw a cutter and a changeup. And the next pitch just missed a little bit low and away with that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the next pitch, and that's fouled back by Lipka.
Angels and Rangers will face each other early in the regular season. Well, the Rangers will be visiting the Big A April 11th, 12th, and 13th.
There's a check swing. Did he go around on that one? Yes, he did. Another strikeout. So that's out number 1 here in the 9th inning. 16 Texas batters have struck out today, but they've never trailed in this game. It's hard to believe.
Crazy.
Yeah.
They've had a high chase rate pretty much all afternoon, out of the zone, in the zone, with some good pitches by Angels relievers.
And the batter is Hoying, and the pitch, and that one is a chopper hit right to Fletcher. He will throw to first base, and that's the 2nd out. 2 quick outs. Just 5 pitches from Gagnon. So the batter now is Urizani. Jason Urizani. There's a pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. This is his first at bat today. He's hitting out of Profar's spot. Profar was 0 for 3 with a run batted in, rejoining the Rangers from the World Baseball Classic. Here's one that's fouled back by Urizani, and the ball lands back and out of play behind the plate.
Terran Profar can find himself being the opening day left fielder for the Rangers. Even though he can play pretty much everywhere. He got some repetitions today as a shortstop.
He swings and fouls that one back to Urizani, who's batting for Profar in his spot. This is the first at bat this spring for Urizani with Texas, young player up from their minor league camp. And the next delivery, it's lifted in the air, foul on the third base side, circling under and making the catch behind the coaching box is Matt Williams, and the inning is over. So that'll do it for the Rangers here as they go down 1-2-3. We are headed to the bottom of the ninth. Angels have 3 more outs to play with, trying now to come back down 7-4 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. We have a new pitcher in the ballgame for the Texas Rangers, and they will use their 5th of the day. Jason Richmond is going to take over. He's a sidewinder, a left-hander, and a funky delivery, and we'll see if the Angels can do anything against him here in the bottom of the 9th. Richmond is going to appear in his first game this spring in the minors last year. 35 games, had a 2-1 record, 3.13 ERA. And here's his first pitch. He slings that one in for a called strike. This is Michael Hermosillo batting. He's back up from minor league camp today. With the Angels, Hermosillo 4 for 14 with a homer, 4 runs batted in. And he takes that one for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hermosillo is hitting out a Trout spot. Mike was 1 for 2 today with his first home run this spring. He also reached getting hit by a pitch. Also had a walk. Ended up scoring 2 runs today. Counts 1-2 on Hermosillo. Jose is headed downstairs. He will have the post-game interview coming up. I believe he's going to try and chat with Alfredo Griffin after the ball game. Alfredo back with the Angels after his time with the Dominican World Baseball Classic team. There's one that's outside. 2-2 on Hermosillo. And the 2-2 pitch. That breaking ball missed inside. Angels have a pinch hitter waiting on deck. And that looks like Michael Barish. Seeing him just a couple of times this spring, and every time we've seen him bat, he's had a hit. 2 for 2. He's waiting on deck. Here's the next pitch. That's hit sharply. A fair ball right over the third base bag. That's going to roll down in the left field corner. It'll be an extra base hit. Just getting to the ball is Lipka, the left fielder. He'll throw it back towards the infield on the left side, but it's a double for Hermosillo, leading things off here in the bottom of the ninth. So Barish will be the pinch hitter, actually batting for Fontana, who had one at bat today. Right-handed hitter. And here's the pitch. This is chopped on the third base side, just foul. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Barish was at Orem and Class A Burlington last year. A catcher in the Angels system. The 9th round pick in the June draft last year. He was in college at this time a year ago. And he hit .276 in the 43 games he played in the Angels system last year. The pitch, he takes that one low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jason Richmond taking over here in the 9th inning, replacing Colin Wiles. And Wiles had a good inning against the Angels in the 8th, aided by a double play ball. He did give up a hit, but no runs. Didn't Walker strike out anyone. And now they're hoping that Richmond can save it for them. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. They do have more action in the bullpen. There's a pitch that's outside, and the count goes to 3-1. So here's the next delivery, and that's taken, called strike. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Richmond was a guy who moved around in the Rangers system last year. 4 different teams. High Desert, Frisco, Round Rock, and Hickory. Here's a ball chopped to the left of the mound. Tough play for the pitcher. The throw to first. He got it there in time. So Richmond gets Barish on the little chopper on the third base side of the pitcher's mound. On the play, Hermosillo goes over to third. He's there with 1 out. Matt Theis will be the batter. Theis didn't start the game, but this is going to be his 3rd time up today. He came in, took over for Luis Valbuena, who had only 2 at-bats. I'm not sure if Valbuena was taken out with any concerns injury-wise, but Valbuena has missed some time this spring. Here's the next pitch, and this is popped in the air, very shallow center field. Coming in under, making the grab, is Heineman, and his throw comes quickly to the plate, and the runner over there, Hermosillo, has to hold at third base. So 2 gone here in the bottom of the 9th. So the Angels are going to have a pinch hitter, John Schucknecht, up from minor league camp. And he comes in trying to keep the ball game alive. This is the first time we've seen him all spring long. Schucknecht will be batting from the right side. And the pitch, he cuts it that one and misses it for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Schucknecht Last name is spelled Schuknecht. And the pitch, and that one is taken for a strike. 0-2 the count. So the Angels down to their final strike in this game, trailing at 7-4. Runner at third base, 2 outs, and the next delivery, that one is outside, 1-2. The Rangers, they have led this game all the way, and they took the lead in the first inning. The Angels did tie it up after one, and there's a pitch that gets away, and Schuknecht on a 1-2 pitch is hit, and he will keep the game alive as he trots to first base. That one got away from Richmond right there. Matt Williams will be the batter. Pitch that came in on Schuknecht, he kind of turned and took it off the side for the most part. Here's Williams batting now. First at bat for him today, the spring with the Angels, just 2 for 10 at the plate. Bright sunshine at the moment here at the Tempe Diablo Stadium. There's a pitch taken for a called strike. Shadows starting to creep in behind the batter's circle. 0-1 is the count. And the next delivery, it's fouled back just to our right, upstairs and out of play. So the Angels once again down to the final strike in this ball game. Sidewinding left-hander Jason Richmond ready. And here's the next pitch. That one is fouled off on the right side, back and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes to count. Infield is backed up. And here's the next delivery. Runner at first goes. The pitch fouled off. The attendance today, 5,846. 5846 today's crowd. So the battle continues here. 21 pitch inning for the reliever Richmond. Williams deep in the hole, the 0-2. He chops the ball right to short. This is going to do it to flip to second base in plenty of time. And the ball game will end on a 6-4 fielder's choice. So the Angels had the leadoff double to at least kind of give you a thought maybe some good things would happen, but after that, not another hit, and the Angels failed to score here in the ninth, and the Rangers beat an Angels split squad this afternoon by the final 7-4. Jose will be visiting with Alfredo Griffin, I believe, in just a moment, and we'll get some of his thoughts on being back with the Angels after experiencing the World Baseball Classic. Jose and Alfredo should be joining us in just a moment. Angels today, kind of an odd game because the Angels ended up allowing 7 runs, but Angels pitchers struck out 16 Texas batters in this ball game. But again, the Angels never held a lead. We're playing catch up all day long and could never quite do it today here against the Texas Rangers. All right, we're going to take you down by the first base side. Jose Mota is standing by with Angels first base coach Alfredo Griffin.
Thanks, Terry. Well, welcome back, Alfredo. A disappointing finish to the minute, but how nice is it for you to get back into the flow here with the Angels?
Well, it's nice to get back. You know, I'm kind of lost, and I've been away for a couple weeks, and our team are going to break the camp soon, and I was worrying a little bit. I know I was enjoying the WBC, but you know, this is my real job, so I need to keep up with my job.
Mike Scioscia said he'd been in touch with you throughout. What are the things that you guys touch upon, and what has he passed on to you to implement quickly here the last week?
Well, what I do, I call, and he called me and find out how the guy's doing. You know, Espinosa, a newcomer. I got to keep my eye on him. You know how his thing was going around the second sack, and I talk to Dino once in a while to find out what the guy's doing, what's the routine they were doing, and and just keeping up with the program, you know, so we're in the same page.
Now that you're here, you saw the game today. What's going to be key between Espinosa and Simmons, two veteran players, have they played their position, to be in tune and rhythm for the rest of the spring and the season?
Well, Espinosa is the one we got to keep up a little bit with because he hasn't played second base for 2 years. Simmons is no problem. This guy is well known, one of the best shortstop in the league. Espinosa was playing shortstop last year, so he's not really acquainted to playing second base like he's playing shortstop. So I talked to him and I asked him how long he hasn't been playing second. He told me he didn't play second for 2 years. So he feels a little kind of different at second base, but he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. We're going to stop working out from today and tomorrow before we break camp, and we're going to work out in the Freeway Series. Those two guys together and Escobar, and we're going to get in together.
As a former shortstop, having different partners, how important is it for the pitchers, and how magic could it be up the middle for the Angels with these two guys?
It's a very important position. It's magic. You got to make the plays up the middle. That's the heart and soul of the game right there, you know. So you need to keep up with in tune with the pitching staff, and that's the best thing, the best comfort for a pitcher when you know you got the up the middle guy that can pick it and do the job up there.
Thank you, Alfredo. Welcome back. And everything okay? What you got here yesterday?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm made of steel.
He's made of steel, Terry. So just like you. Let's go back. Made of steel.
All right, I appreciate it. I knew we'd get a chuckle from Alfredo here today. We really appreciate him and his visit with Jose after this ball game. Well, a tough one overall for the Angels, who drop it to the Rangers 7-4. Want to remind you, Jose Mota will be joined by Alex Curry in just a moment. They'll have more post-game analysis on Angels Live on Fox Sports West. We'll have some more for you coming up on the radio side as well. Again, 7-4 Rangers over the Angels. This is the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.